Oh, it's a big show. Hey, we have a guest tonight. It's Raider Rick. Raider Rick, how are
Yo,
you?
well,
Oh,
it was a rough week this past weekend, but you know, put it behind us. Time to move on. Bigger, better things, right?
Raider Rick is recovering, mostly recovered, but not recovered from the Raiders' terrible loss.
That's true.
Come on, Rick. Raiders, they do it to you again.
I think that is about the most Raider way they could have possibly lost a game. Just, the ill advised 2 point conversion that I take a little beef with. And, you know, their two star receivers running into each other and falling down as the game literally drops out of reach. It's just, the one thing that was different is for once they weren't the ones getting screwed by a bad call or rule interpretation. So it's kind of fun to watch Chiefs fans whine this time. That being when Chris Jones stole the ball but then jumped on top of Carr and got flagged for roughing even though he was holding the ball by that point. But hey, I'll take it.
Rick, I have bad news. We have your snap, crackle, and pop came back. It's back.
Oh,
I don't know
dang.
why. You've got get
Turn his
something
volume
else there?
down.
Volume down. I don't think that's the problem. I think he's just got.
He's louder than you by a lot in my ears. But hey,
All right.
Oh, yeah?
This
Snap, crackle, and pop.
down. Still crackling.
Yeah. So I don't know what we got to do here. We got to get you on. We got to get you on some way. You got a phone handy?
I got a phone handy.
Try us by phone.
Let's
Ben's
call
had
your
good.
number.
No, just join the. Can you access the link by your phone? Because if you can, I can.
Yeah.
We can just have you on that way. Ben's had pretty good luck with the phone, and we don't want to have Rick snap, crackling, popping. We want to have Raider Rick all the way 100%.
All right. I'll mute myself. You guys talk while I figure this out.
Raider Rick will be back. He'll be back. Road Notches here. All right, Ben. Tell us where are we at here? What's a few things happened this week, right? Since the Packers lost in London, just a couple things.
what? I have no idea.
Oh, come on! What about all the
Listen, I'm in the middle of working 9 days in a row. Okay, I don't have time to look at Packer crap
Aw.
and all this other stuff. I spent all day yesterday making videos and looking at the crappy game and being like, "What the crap?" and blah blah blah. What the crap?
Like,
So
how do we
I don't
lose
have
to the
time.
Giants?
All I know is this: I am not surprised. We'll put it that way.
Which team had more talent?
I don't know for sure, to be quite honest. After watching the tape,
Which team utilized their talent better?
oh, the Giants, 1,000%,
Isn't that
1,000%.
Isn't that what it's all about?
All I know is I watched one quarterback on Sunday make things happen when there was nothing there to extend drives, and I watched another quarterback throw up wounded ducks 35 yards down the field on third down multiple times for no reason whatsoever, even though guys recovered, and sometimes even throwing a ball out of bounds, which ended drives and equaled 0 points in the whole second half. I don't know which quarterback was which. I could be wrong. I don't know. But one guy, if it was 3rd and 4 and the seas parted, he ran for 4 yards and extended the drive. The other guy on 3rd and 8 just chucked up some crappy ball to somebody 35 yards down the field who's not open.
What's happened to
pretty
that
dumb.
part? What's happened to that part of Aaron Rodgers' game anyway? What's the deal?
What do you mean?
He never runs. He never takes there's
Well, he does.
opportunities
There's
sometimes.
been times where he's tried to, and then he gets caught by like Kenny Clark speed guys, so he doesn't have speed anymore. That's for sure. But sometimes it's not even about speed. We've seen Tom Brady take off when there's a big hole, and you just go.
That's true. Yeah.
And extend the drive. What would have happened if that pass? I don't know if he had an amazing play where he snuck through everybody and then threw the pass to Randall Cobb on the first series on the 3rd down play where Alan Lazard almost got his hands in the way and caught it because he thought it was for him, but it actually wasn't quite for him. What would happen if Alan Lazard would have put his hand up thinking it was for him and then tipped it, and then that would have been picked off? When Aaron Rodgers could have just ran for the first down at that point. I don't know. I'm concerned over all the things we've seen and all the things we talked about, and now everybody else is talking about them. Finally, it took 5 weeks for everybody to talk about all the things that we know are problems. But yet here we are going into week 6. And I didn't see this interview. I just saw an article that said Aaron Rodgers thinks that 2 of his teammates need to be more involved in the game plan. And I was like, oh, yeah, A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones. That's obvious. Duh. And then I read the article and it said Allen Lazard and Big Dog. Allen Lazard and Big Dog need to be more part of the offense? Listen, Allen Lazard is fine. He's a fine player. Okay? But he's not a dynamic player. And Big Dog should never be on the field. I'm sorry.
Blasphemous.
So
that was probably true.
And then he was like, yeah, Big Dog, he can, when he gets the ball, he can do some things. And I'm like, no, he can't.
Do some things. Just like he was talking about. Did you hear that part? Okay, so in one of his, I'm sorry, let's just clear up. It's kind of Aaron Rodgers BS. I'll know Robert Tonyan, Bobby, who never asked to be called Bobby. I'll know he's back all the way when he can take that short gain and turn it into something big. When in the hell is Robert Tonyan? No, he's never been good yak guy. He is great before the catch guy, getting open and catching the ball. That's what he's great at.
As a matter of fact, the guy who should be more involved, I would say, is Josiah DeGuara.
Early in the game, they went to him like a couple times in a row on the drive.
Yes.
And he made some things happen.
When he catches the ball, he turns upfield right away. He has better agility. He has better spatial movement. He's better lateral movement than Robert Tonyan. And he has better, to be quite honest, athletic ability. He doesn't trip over his own feet and fall down. Now,
he's not as fast straight line.
Right. He's not as fast, and he doesn't have the hands. Tonyan's got great hands, and he's super fast for a tight end. So great. Yes. Use him for that downfield like they did the last week before that, where he caught the deep pass and got smacked by 2 guys and still hung on to the ball because he's Robert Tonyan and he catches everything. Okay. But the guy who should be getting the bubble screen at tight end is not Tonyan, and it's certainly not Big Dog. I mean, Big Dog got a touchdown gift. They made up this amazing play to make sure he gets a touchdown. Well, you could have put me out there. I would have caught that touchdown. That's how wide open he was. And there's nobody even anywhere near him. They're like 10 freaking yards. I mean, come on. You could have put anybody there. You could have put David Bakhtiari. Run that play for David Bakhtiari. Give him a touchdown. Nobody would have been looking for that. Big Dog more involved in the game. It just proves Aaron Rodgers does it either A, knows nothing about football, or B, only cares about his buddies. He doesn't care about winning. He wants to look good, and he wants his buddies to look good.
No.
But he doesn't care about winning because the 2 names that should have been out of his mouth were Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon are the 2 names that should have been out of his mouth. Not Big Dog and Lazard. Big Dog and Lazard. Think about that, Packer fans. Our $50 million a year quarterback, who's apparently a genius, thinks that Big Dog needs to get the ball more. Big Dog. Not Aaron Jones. Not A.J. Dillon. Not Christian Watson, who's got super speed. Big Dog. The 39-year-old, 6'7", runs about as fast as Kenny Clark, needs to get the ball more.
They used to call this guy Big Dog right here. Rick, try turning your camera on your phone, see if it works out. I think sound-wise, we're looking pretty good.
All right. How's it sounding?
Oh, yeah. That's more. That's like full Rick. Whoa, sideways Rick.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's way better. The other way, you look like an aardvark or something. It was weird.
So that we used to call this guy Big Dog, or somebody did. And, Rick, I don't know what you thought. I'm sure we'll get back into your Raiders here and give you a little time on that. But as far as the Packers go, Aaron Jones, it seems like this is how it goes. When Aaron Jones gets like only a handful of touches or whatever, like 10 touches or whatever, the Packers don't win because they're not productive on offense. And then when they utilize him a bunch, then they steamroll teams. I mean, what? Does that make sense?
No.
It's really not hard to figure out.
Especially some of the sound bites that have come out this week. It's just there's this disconnect between what they say or what they think they're supposed to say and what actually happens on the field. I'm assuming, at least I think you guys will probably touch on this soon, but some of the comments that were made during press conferences this week, and it just doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, really, I don't want this to turn into a just dumping on Rodgers fest here, but clearly, when the game's on the line, he wants the ball in his hands. Really, I mean, that's really what it seems like to me. Who knows what was called? Who knows what wasn't called? But you can't play the game that you played, make the plays that were being played on the field, and then come back and say, yeah, we really need to run more. Well, talk is cheap, right? I just don't see this changing. And why should, right? These are coaches. These should be some of the best coaches in the world, right? This is NFL top tier, the best level of football. Yet it's not until several weeks into the season of seeing the same problems and having the media jumping on these guys, just roasting the coaches and the team as a whole, that finally the coaches and players are saying, oh, maybe we should run the ball when we're averaging 8 yards a carry or whatever it is. Or, maybe we shouldn't play 15 yards off the guys when we've got this aggressive defense and these, it should have been one of the top defenses in the league coming in at the start of the season. Maybe we shouldn't be playing like we still have Kenny King as our top corner, right? Where are these guys getting this from, right? I mean, if we can see this just watching the regular broadcast on Sunday, what are they looking at in the film room all week?
That's a great question.
More than what you were asking got me going.
Well, the other thing that's really interesting to me is this. When Aaron Jones was a rookie and his second year of the league, Packer fans watched flashes, okay? But they were flashes of Aaron Jones producing. And Packer fans demanded, they're like, why? Hey, McCarthy, why aren't we getting the ball to Aaron Jones more? And he still didn't do it, okay? He wouldn't even have him on the field. He put Jamal Williams out there all the time for some unknown reason, right? Now, I don't know if that was a McCarthy thing or if it was a Rodgers thing. But there was flashes of it, but not like consistencies that we could see, okay, this is a great player, and we weren't sure. You just thought, okay, maybe he could do something. Like, we suck. We're not getting as many wins anymore. I mean, 2017, 2018 were terrible years. Yeah, and we had this talented guy on the team that we saw do something. So as Packer fans, we're like, can we just get him out there? Maybe he'll do something with the ball. I don't know. It's not like it's the Aaron Jones of that time. This is Aaron Jones after he scored 21 freaking touchdowns in 2019, after he single-handedly won games for us multiple times against Kansas City, against Dallas, against other teams that year. We had to watch him get on the back burner for 2 seasons over the last 2 years so that Aaron Rodgers can win his MVPs and change the offense to just the Davante Adams show. And last year we watched Davante Adams get 170 goddamn targets in a season, but Aaron Jones only gets 13 carries in a game. It makes no sense. The other thing that's very interesting is Saquon Barkley only had 13 carries too. So it's not just an issue. The thing that's so weird is when you look at the game back and you watch it back and you say, wow, like I actually watched, because I watched all 22, and there weren't that many drives.
Right.
Because in the first half, we had long sustained drives and the Giants got 3 and outs and had trouble. And then they had a couple long sustained drives. In the second half, the Giants controlled the time of play clock like you wouldn't believe. And the Packers got like nothing. Right. But the way they play, the way the Packers play, you would think they would be running the ball in every play because they get so few possessions that you're like, well, they must be, chewing up the clock. But that's not what they do. They do these dump off 2-yard, actually, quick stat. I don't know if it's a complete 100% stat, but Aaron Rodgers threw 39 passes. I don't remember how many were completed, but 11 of the completions were at or behind the line of scrimmage. At or behind the line of scrimmage. That is pathetic. We pay this guy $50 million a year to throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage. I'm pretty sure he should be throwing it past. Pretty sure maybe 10, 20, 15 yards downfield. Now, part of that is the offensive line sucks. Don't get me wrong. But my biggest issue is this team is no fun to watch. Period. As much as Raider may be a Raider fan and they're 1-4, they at least do some dynamic things every now and again. They're stupid, but they do something fun. All the Packers do are these stupid RPO crap.
25 completions, Ben. 25.
Okay, 11 out of his 25 were at or behind the line of scrimmage on these little bubble screen RPO. Oh, I'm going to fake it and run. Oh, no, sorry. I'm going to throw it over to this guy. Throw it over to this guy. And then he's going to run for more yards. But he doesn't run for that many. Even though he's completing all these passes, they're not for very many yards. The drives take forever. And then if we don't score on them, or if we only get a field goal on it, that's a whole bunch of possession. You're saying, Aaron Jones only had 13 carries. Saquon Barkley only had 13 carries. And a matter of fact, without that one big run he had, the Packers defense did pretty dang good against him. You take away that one big run, he doesn't have that 70-some yards. He would have had like 12 carries for like under 30 yards. That's pretty good against Saquon Barkley. So one play screwed the whole thing up for us, but he only had 13 carries. Because not only are the Packers wasting time, the Giants are a team that do want to waste time because they don't want to be, they want to try to have the opposing offense not on the field because they don't want them to score points. Where the Packers offense plays in the exact opposite of how they should want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it is because the offensive line sucks. The other part is Rodgers won't throw the ball downfield. But it's also zero fun. I have no fun watching games. And then on defense, they just sit back and let the other team do whatever they want and then try to tackle them. I'm sorry. I come from the land of, if you have a guy who's good at tackling, sure. But we have Jair Alexander. Is he known for tackling?
Not at all.
We have Eric Stokes. Is he known for tackling? No. We have Savage. Is he known for tackling? Obviously not. That's the reason why Saquon Barkley had his 50-yard carry. Do we have Adrian Amos? Is he really known for tackling? They call him Smash. I don't know why, because every time I watch him make a tackle, he misses most of the time. The only guy who could tackle was Rasul Douglas, and they decided to F him over with a bullshit penalty. I have the film. They called the freaking goddamn. The one was really bad where he grabbed the guy and yanked him around. But the other one that negated a sack was bull crap. Bull crap. And then he got so mad later on because nobody else was doing anything. He decided to head slam a dude and got a penalty, which was dumb. And he's my favorite guy, and I'm calling him out for being dumb. Anyway, I know I'm taking over the show yet for my rant. But what I'm trying to say is it's not fun. I don't have fun watching these guys. My favorite season was the 89 season when they sucked. They had one guy who was any good, Sterling Sharp. That's it. And they had the Magic Man who'd run around and do crazy crap and then chuck it to Sharp. That's all he did. And the defense had Tim Harris, who would just run back there and sack a guy every now and then. And they had Chuck Cecil smacking dudes with his helmet. That's all he had. But they were fun. They were way more entertaining than this bunch of crap. 11 passes behind the line of scrimmage completed. It's terrible. And the defense stands there and lets you do whatever you want and then try to tackle. They can't tackle. It's dumb. Also, it makes no sense. If you're going to play off, okay, if you play off, then you should blitz because you need the pressure on the quarterback fast because you're playing off. And then that's the way when you play off, the completion ball gets thrown for early. You're able to attack and then tackle. Right?
You're making way too much sense here. Way too much sense.
If you play man coverage, you bump the receiver, you disrupt the pass pattern or the run pattern, right? The routes, and then that gives your defensive line enough time to get to the quarterback because you've disrupted the play. So therefore, then you don't blitz because you're playing man coverage, you're disrupting plays, you're tight. You might give up. Your coverage might not be as good later on in the play, but early on in the play, the receiver is not open. The Packers do the opposite of what anybody should ever do. They don't blitz, so they don't get to the quarterback right away. And then they also play off zone, so the receiver has an easy just go right away. So the quarterback is like, so you guys are coming at me? Okay, cool. And you're not going to cover the guy? Okay, cool. And he throws it, and he's open, and he catches it. It's not even hard. I'm not even that smart. If you play zone, you got to blitz. You need to force pressure. Period. So Barry needs to freaking change it up. Not our dad, Joe Barry. Either if you're going to play back zone, then freaking blitz and attack one part of the offensive line. Study the opponent. Find their freaking weakest link. Who is the Royce Newman on the opponent? You find that guy, you attack him, and you go after the quarterback if you're going to play back zone, and the guy will throw it up like a dum-dum, and you get some picks because your guys have their eyes in the backfield. Awesome. Or play man, because we got Jair, Rasul Douglas, Eric Stokes. Okay, Eric Stokes not so much, but the other two guys, really good man corners. Okay, we play man, we bump and run, blah, blah, blah. We disrupt the freaking pass or the routes, and then our guys give them a little more time to get to the quarterback, and then here you go, Preston Smith and Gary and Breed and sometimes Kenny Clark when they falls to him. They'll get the sack because you disrupted the route combination, right? It's not hard. But apparently, Joe Barry's a freaking moron. And until this week, I didn't think it was that cool. Everybody's like, he needs to be fired. He needs to be fired. I don't want anybody to be fired. Okay? But after 5 weeks, when you can't cover a damn crossing route because your guys are looking at each other, and Devondre Campbell is pointing as the guy's already past him. The crossing pass router is already past him, and he's telling a guy who's covering a tight end running past this way to go cover the guy that he just let go. There's a problem. There's a miscommunication there, and I've got video, and I wanted to show some videos sometime. I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind. The bottom line is, it's not fun. It's not fun to watch your defense play soft and your offense throw 0-yard passes all the goddamn time with the quarterback making $50 million freaking dollars a year. This guy is supposed to be the superhero, and he's playing like a diva ding dong.
He'll throw it. He'll throw it a lot farther when he wants to like throw it way too far on the sideline and miss passes. Then he'll throw it down there. But
it doesn't extend. I just said that. Jones extended. There was one drive he extended 3 third downs by running and kept the drive going. Yeah. And then Rodgers chucks up some stupid 35-yard pass to Alan Lazard, who we know isn't open, and we know he can't get open, and he falls. And hey, was he getting beat up? Yeah, but we've watched Alan Lazard get beat up his whole career. He's the softest 6'5" guy I've ever seen. He can't get past man coverage. He can't get past press coverage. Even 30 yards downfield, you're 6'5". Elbow him in the gut, elbow him in the face, and get off him.
Okay. So you have you've solved all the Packers problems, but unfortunately, I don't know.
There's way more. I could go on for a good 3 hours. I'm just taking a look at the two biggest problems.
Right.
Not attacking on defense, and also this methodical offense where, but it's built in. We have these what do they call them? Run alerts,
run pass. Yeah, run alerts.
No, he calls them something else. Run solution. Run solution.
Even though the solution is probably just to hand it off, and that's probably better.
Well, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
By having these run solutions, okay, it's my last thing. I'll shut up. By having these run solutions, like LaFleur is like, okay, Rodgers, you are $50 billion quarterback.
You're in charge.
I'm giving you a play. You have to watch the defense. You have this option, a running play. You have a bubble screen on one side, and you have a turnaround comeback on the other side. Okay? Your job is read the defense and find where the hole is within a millisecond, and you can't be wrong, but it doesn't attack the defense, right? What you're doing is waiting and reacting to see what the defense does, and then make up your mind in a split second to figure out which one of those three things is the best choice, and put it all in your quarterback to make that smart choice. No quarterback, I don't care how long you've been in the league, has 7 eyes in their head that they can look over here and look over there and look over there and see which of the 3 choices is the best choice, especially when they're doing it like the way they are doing it. They don't attack a specific weakness on the opponent. Mm-hmm. That's a coaching problem. They don't attack a specific weakness on defense, on the opposing offense either. That's a coaching problem. They run their stuff, and they think that their talent is enough to do something when their talent is not enough. And their communication issues on defense are pathetic and bad. It's really bad. And on offense, they never, like we've already talked a million times, they don't run plays for anybody. Or obviously they ran that touchdown for Big Dog. That was obviously for him because nobody else needs to be that wide open to catch a touchdown, but Big Dog does. But I mean, they don't know. I'm hoping that they ran those 2 plays for DeGuara, but I don't know. Maybe he was just out there. They got lucky that he was just out there. But they need to run more plays for DeGuara.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
what I'm saying is that's the problem where everybody's like, well, but it's in LaFleur. He thinks we have 3 different options on this play, and our quarterback will find which of those 3 options is the best against this defense.
Right.
But it doesn't attack the defense. You've become the reactive player. So it's like the same thing that Barry's doing on defense. You've become reactionary to what the defense does. You look at them and see, oh, where's the best solution? Oh, there it is. That's the solution. That's the run pass solution. Instead of attacking a specific weakness of the opponent that you've studied, and you hammer it at that weakness.
Or utilizing your best players. It takes you out of utilizing your best players because so we'll go into that in just a second. And I want Rick's take on it, but 2 things, right? 2 things that you said. The last 2 weeks, we have played a 3rd string rookie quarterback, and then we played Daniel Jones with subpar receivers
and a broken ankle or a twisted ankle
against a top flight defense. So why are we playing 12 yards off? Are you afraid these guys are going to make magical throws and the receivers are going to beat you deep? I wouldn't be. Now, apparently, according to the Packers, when they were questioned about this, LaFleur said, well, you got to be careful, because when we're playing zone, then we can have better run defense. Guys don't get, because if you run if you're playing all man, you can have guys shift to one side because they go with their man, and then you get an open spot. I get it. So they played a lot of zone because they didn't want to be out of position for Barkley to have like a big wide open spot to break through.
And they did a good job for 12 out of the 13 plays.
But then, like you said, if you're going to play zone and that's part of helping your run defense be more solid and more consistent, then you need to have the pass rush. You need to create pressure. And then you need to have your zone guys that they're playing off, not be backing up, be sitting at 10 yards and advancing and attacking when they see something. But instead, we have sitting at 10 yards, and then as soon as the ball snap, we're backing up. It makes zero sense, number one. And then the other thing, hold on. The other thing is this, and I've said it multiple times, but in like the 3rd and 2 and the 4th and 2, specifically, the Packers said, oh, well, they had, they played cover 0, and they had the other play, they had all these guys in the box. Sometimes in football, you just need to enforce the play that you want to run. You do not need to see. Aaron Rodgers loves to play this mind game where he figures it out and calculates what's the best against this defense and all that sort of stuff. And he's been given the liberty to do that and all that sort of whatever. But when you got 2 stud running backs and you need 2 yards, I don't care how many guys are in the box. Give him the ball and plow it in there and get 2 yards. But when you're constantly looking at what the defense is doing and say, we're going to adjust to that to give ourselves, the best optimal play in this scenario. Sometimes you just got to run the play. Just be like Brett Favre. Remember? Just pick one. Pick one. I'll run it. Pick one. I'll run it. Just run the damn play and just run the ball. I don't care if there's 10 guys in the box. Just try it. It might work. Sorry. Rick, what you got?
Well, I was just going to say to Ben's point, right? I mean, they should be aggressive. They should make adjustments, but it's just, you've got on both sides of the ball. I think the problem is they're not looking for the best option. They're looking for the least bad option, right? Yeah. They're clearly just so afraid of getting burned by the run that it just paralyzes them to do anything else. Okay, fine. You're concerned. You're coming into the game, right? So Barkley seemed like the biggest threat they had. So fine. All hands on deck, whatever, prevent him from burning you on big plays. But when that's not what's killing you and you're just getting destroyed with the passing game, okay, at this point, the run can't be any worse than what the passing is doing to you right now. So make adjustments. Like what? There's a difference between not wanting to give up the big play and just giving up everything else, right? There's no resistance. There's bend but don't break. And then there's we're just going to play prevent for the entire game. And there's a lot of in between. And that's what they seem to be missing. Offensively, it's the same thing, right? They dink and dunk, take the safe plays. They're just afraid of making the stupid turnover or the dropped pass. So let's play high percentages, play it safe, play it safe, play it safe. And then suddenly they're in desperation mode and everything that's working goes out the window. And it's time for the big, fantastic, like Madden sort of play to win it.
And they were never out of this game. Like no. It was when it was 2020, they decided to chuck it downfield 3 times in a row. Like you should not be panicked there. It's 2020. It's a tie game. Not to mention that was a key point where the defense was gassed, needed a break. You needed to run plays, possess the ball, go on a drive, give those guys some rest, and try to get some points to stop the bleeding there. And instead, 3 freaking deep passes in a row that basically a very low percentage of being complete. And that's what they chose to run. Now, there's questioning between, was that a quarterback decision or were some of those adjustments? Was that head coach decision? We don't know all that stuff, but still, either way, whoever decided to run all those plays and throw those balls in those spots, dumb. And it didn't work. I don't know. Sorry, Rick. All right. So here's what we got to do. We kind of already, I mean, I feel like we kind of got into this already, but it's we're kind of working some of this in, and I think it's time for this. And it's Rick's time. So we're going to give it to Rick here as soon as I can find my spot. Oh, there we go. We're going to mix it up here for what we normally do on the radio show. No radio show tomorrow night. Again, we're preempted by a debate, the lone gubernatorial debate in the state of Wisconsin tomorrow night on civic media radio stations. So our show's not on. So this is what you get from us this week. But right now it's time for this.
Man, I got a beef to pick with you.
You want some beef or what?
Yo, what's your beef?
Come on, man.
This is where we turn it over to Rick. Rick should have the biggest beef of anyone. After his new star, highly paid receiver, assaults people after the game, does other things during the game. We don't know what happened with Devontae Adams. But anyway, Rick, it's all up to you. You take it away.
I got lots of beef. One of them would be the Packers trading Devontae to the Raiders in the first place, but we'll let it go now. My bigger beef is coaches seem to be on some other plane and not making any logical sense whatsoever. In this case, my beef is brought to us this week by Coach McDaniel and the Raiders, deciding to go for it on a 2-point conversion, down by 1 point, with 4.5 minutes left in the game. Now, just the drive before, the Chiefs score a touchdown and go for 2 and fail. So they might be thinking, maybe this isn't a good idea to go for 2 right now. Because unlike the Chiefs, who would have made it a 2-score game at that point, for the Raiders, it was the difference of we're either down by 1 point, we tie, or we go up by 1 point with 4.5 minutes left. Now, I can't really come up with any scenarios where being up by 1 point is going to help you that much when you're going against the Chiefs offense with 4.5 minutes left. Okay, you need to stop them. Your defense needs to make a stop either way. You tie the game up. If anything, maybe they'll play a little softer because they don't want to lose the game, right? You go up by 1 point, and they know they need to score. You miss the 2-point conversion, as they did. The Chiefs now have the lead. Now they just have to protect the lead. So, if anything, even if you'd taken the 1-point lead, you're probably just challenging their offense to go down and at least get a field goal and make sure they score. So I'm thinking, if you just kick it, you tie it. You have to get the stop either way. You stop them. And then worst case, you still tie the game. Best case, you go down, you get a field goal, touchdown, whatever, and win. But by going for it and missing, there's no way they're going to run out the clock either way. It's 4.5 minutes, right? The average drive in the NFL is what? Something like 6 plays, 2.5 minutes, something like that.
Not for the Packers.
Well, in league average, but
okay.
The point is you're not going to give them, they're not going to chew up 4.5 minutes of clock and not score. Right? So you are counting on making a stop and having, at least 2 minutes left on the clock anyway. So I cannot wrap my head around why going for 2 in that situation was a remotely good idea. So that was my beef. As coaches do things that defy all sorts of logic, like having your, best cornerback tandem in the league playing 15 yards off when they should be able to eat those guys alive. So my beef this week, bad coaching.
It's all over the NFL, though.
True.
The bad coaching is everywhere.
Like
take a look at the Lions scored 0
Detroit
points
Lions
because Dan Campbell kept going for it on 4th down. Look at the stinking Chargers got a win. They shouldn't have even won that because they keep doing stupid crap. I wish Justin Herbert had a good coach or was on a good team like the Packers. I wish we could trade it for him. That'd be awesome. But anyways, it's all over the place. And a lot of these teams that can't, even look at the Bengals. Okay, I drafted in fantasy football Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is fast, big, can run crazy, do crazy stuff. And the Bengals just don't do anything interesting. They showed his route tree the other day. And they compared it to other receivers in the league like Stephon Diggs and some other guys. And he a go route he runs like an in route and he runs a slant and he runs an out route. That's it. Like they don't move him around. He doesn't do crossing routes. It's like if somebody wants to take him out of the game, you just put a safety over the top and he's done. And the Bengals have a boring offense. And I think it's something that has to do with this whole Sean McVay tree. Because the Floors offense is boring, it sucks. The Bengals offense is boring, it sucks. I don't know. It just seems like a bunch of crap.
I don't know. The Lions got the most points in the division so far.
And they scored 0 points last week.
I know. And they scored it, but they got 140 on the season. Now they've given up 170 compared to the Packers 96 so far this year. The Packers, look at that, 97 points for, 96 against.
Well, see, that's the other thing is people have been talking to, like, I've heard people say, well, the Packers they're the 5th rated defense in the league. They're blah, all this kind of stuff. But like when you look at their average yards per play, not average yards per game, then all of a sudden they're in the middle of the pack.
They have so few
You know
plays.
what I mean?
Only 61 plays this last game.
Yes.
Remember the old days when McCarthy used to want like 90 plays in a game? He would talk about that, getting to 90 plays, more attempts. He always used baseball reference, which always was dumb. I hate when they use like on a pitch count when they're talking about football players too. Dumb. But anyway, he'd always be like, we want more attempts at the plate. We want more attempts at the plate. We want 90 plays. And now they're running 60 plays.
Well, when your quarterback takes the play clock down to 1 second every single time,
I know.
Guess what? That takes forever. Your offense is boring.
And just to say, Aaron Rodgers often says, "Oh, the offense is so wordy. That's why it takes so long to get the play." But so the offense is super wordy. So you say this wordy offensive play, and then he's got to spit it out. But then he makes all of his changes. So if he's going to make all of his changes, just skip all that wordy stuff and like get up on the line to make your changes, and then maybe you get some more plays in there. You might get 10, 15, 20 more plays a game. What about that, huh? Maybe great.
Still plenty of time watching that clock kick down on every play. They can change it up at least by 5 or 6 seconds and maybe, catch somebody off guard. You can't tell me they're not able to catch the defense off guard at least once a game.
Yeah, they totally could, but it's so predictable. When you become predictable,
finding the thing that's the least bad.
Yeah, it's too much thinking, and it's too much trying to get everybody thinking the same thing and mind reading and all this other sort of stuff, and you're not utilizing your players. The bottom line for the Packers offense in this game, 39 passes, 19 rushes. When you were at your 2 running backs averaging together over 5 something a carry. So 2 handoffs and you got a first down. And you only ran it 19 times, but threw it almost 40. Dumb.
Can I put in with a mini beef on this person utilizing your players?
Yeah, sure.
What's the deal with trying to convert Christian Watson into the next Taysom Hill? Can we just use him as a receiver? You have running backs. You don't need to take your receiver and try to make him into a running back.
Rodgers doesn't trust throwing it to him, so this way you can just hand it to him or throw it short.
Let your running backs run. Let your receivers receive. Go down the field. I realize that 12-yard completion might not be as high percentage as a 12-inch completion, but, open it up.
Oh, man, it's crazy. Okay. Well, let's go. We'll go to we'll try to bring it back. So there were some good things from the game.
No,
we can't be good yet.
No.
We're going to wait. Oh, you want to show the bad stuff? You got plays?
We're going to show some plays here.
All right, let's show some.
I got the last plays of the last drive.
I'm going to stop. Okay, it's all to you. You show us the bad plays, and then we'll go to the silent but deadly players of the game, because there's always someone
I have
silent.
None. I have none.
What? Not even a single one?
There is nobody who deserves to be a silent but deadly player of this game. Not a single player on that team. I can't think of one player. Not one player.
Wow.
Not in that game. Not in that game.
Wow.
Are you ready?
All right.
Here's the last gasp of the pack to try to get into this game. Here's a Robert Tonyan play in the flat. Yay for us.
What's down in distance here?
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, this is when we're
right here. This is the first down marker.
Okay.
He gets a first down.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is what what I was talking about on this run pass option. So up here, look at the top of the screen. You've got an out route with this top receiver here who's supposed to, I'm assuming, block somebody because he's not downfield very far. Okay. And based on, look at there's only two guys here. This is where the ball should have been thrown probably. But Rodgers is reading this defensive end here. Crashes down. He pops up and throws to Tunyon because that's the other option is to go here while Lazard gets the block here. Right? So this has either pass it over here to Tunyon or pass it over here to this receiver, all on the same play, right? And luckily for us, look at the Giants are playing this Packer prevent. They're dumb. So it works, right? Because they don't want to lose, right? They're ahead by 7. They don't want to give the touchdown. Tunyon gets the first down on second down and 2 or whatever it is.
Yep.
I'm saying he's doing. You can look at his eyes. He's just watches this guy. When he crashes to Jones, he pops up, throws the Tunyon because Tunyon sneaks out. Period. Simple, easy. It worked. Now, it doesn't always work. And I'm going to show you later on why it was a problem when the Giants actually showed some pressure. That was a play where, hey, guess what? Everybody's wide open. No issues there, right? Because the defense was playing so far off. Now we got a little bit more of a bunch here. On this same play, it's another RPO. You got the exact same freaking combination up here again, except this time Cobb's in the slot and Dobbs is on top, where the last play was the opposite way. Down here, Lazard is going to do a comeback turnaround, and Big Dog blocks and seals his guy, and Jenkins comes out and seals this edge, and there's a big wall for Aaron Jones to run for a bunch of yards. And it works out great. So you're saying, Ben, why are you complaining? Well, we'll find. It looks great, right? That's how that was first down. And now it's, oh yeah, I circled these two guys because they're useless, by the way. No offense to them, but they are. Go watch them. Watch what they do. Oh, they're not useless. So this play, because it was an RPO, right? Yash is over here blocking. Runya's doing the tap, tag your it over here, the Billy Turner tag, and then he's supposed to go up to here and block somebody, but he doesn't. But because these guys get such good seal over here, especially Jenkins does a great job. Big Dog gets his seal. There's a big giant hole. Aaron Jones sees it, and boom, he gets 8 yards. So we're all good to go. Now remember that for the next play, because that was first down. Okay? And the Giants just saw that. Now goes, right? Now, guess what? The Packers call another same RPO type play. This time you got Lazard coming in. Now with Lazard coming in, that takes away any chance of an RPO pass to this side, any chance to this side or this side. And the reason why I know it's an RPO is because look here, he's looking for the ball, but Rodgers hands it off. But this time, the two defenders here and here know what's coming because they've already seen it 3 times in a row, and they're not going to fall for that crap anymore. So when you look at it from the other view, you'll see for the 3rd RPO play in a row, the defense knows what's going to happen. At this point, it looks pretty good. You got a seal here. You got Yash is doing the same thing he did last time. He's thinking, I got this guy just like the last play, except this guy's going to school him and go crazy. This guy's going to sneak around. Royce is going to fall on his face. Next thing you know, you're going to see Jonesy getting creamed because this guy's coming through. This guy's going through this hole. This guy runs around like this, and there's nothing there because they all saw it coming 3 times already. And they know, well, we're not part of the play on that outside play, right? These defensive linemen know, well, they're just going to do this RPO. We're not going to be part of that outside pass because we're not going to get there in time. So let's just condense on the run. So what you're doing, in essence, is taking away the run from the run pass option because you only throw to the outside. And the defense knows that. So why should they ever do anything but attack the run? Because the ball's going to be fast. They get to the quarterback. So all these guys on that just shows you that defensive end in front of Yash, who Yash blocked fine last time because he was trying to get to the quarterback, figured it out. On the very next play, he said, forget it, I'm going to the running back. Now, on this play, this is the one where it gets blocked. And the reason why I'm showing it is because There is zero, I repeat, zero run pass option on this play. This is a straight up pass. And the reason why I circled this guy in red is because he is in the passing lane. This play should go right here to Lazard and or right here to Cobb. But because there is no threat of the RPO on this play, this guy doesn't come as hard. And he sits back and he takes away the passing lane. So Rodgers can't throw the quick pass. Because this is one where there should have been an RPO, because this guy would have attacked because he watched it the last 3 plays in a row. But as you watch the play go, see? No RPO, straight up pass. And this guy just sits right here. So even though you want Cobb to beat this guy, and he's got to beat, look at this guy's way out of position. This pass would be perfect right here. But guess what? Because there's no RPO, this guy did not fall for it. He's sitting right in that passing lane because he's watched Packer film and he knows. The only option, the only place to throw this ball is right here to Lazard. But Lazard has got a guy on him. And Rodgers isn't looking there. He's looking here for Cobb or maybe for Dobbs on the back end. He decides to try to throw it through 3 guys and it gets tipped. And we all know what happens. You know, it was a tipped pass on 3rd down. But it happened because of the run pass option. So 54, because he came forward and Rodgers couldn't throw it because he was in the passing lane. So the Giants defense is A, smart, B, adjusting to what they see, and C, when you do the same thing over and over again, they figure out. And 4th, I'm just kidding. But anyways, and then here's the last play. The last play, this is why, this is the type of play when you have a $50 million, 18-year quarterback, this should not be happening. Look at this defensive line here. Now, I know this is a corner and this is a safety and this is a linebacker. So you're thinking, they're going to just drop back in coverage. Let's take a look at what we're looking at on our Packer team here. Up top, we have a wide receiver and a wide receiver. So if we had a safety, a corner, and all these guys back in here over on this side, and I know you have Big Dog and you have Dylan, right? Do you think they would be here to cover Lazard? Are you going to have 1, 2, 3 type of guys to cover Lazard and Big Dog? I don't think so. Plus, you've only got 3 guys over here to block these 5 guys. Okay, so that's number 1 if you're going to pass the ball. So, first of all, you do not want to pass to this side because even if, for some unknown reason, they don't blitz, you got Lazard over here with 2 guys here in the slot who could drop out and take away the passing lane. So why would you even be trying to pass it this side? I don't know. If you look over here, yes, there's 8 guys in the box, right? And you only have 5 guys, but they're all over on this side. And the play is running to this side. There's a spot here where you can run it for a couple yards. But more importantly, because guys are here, and this is the route combination you have with a Randall Cobb to the out route, Dobbs with a slant, down to be had right here. Because there's no way, unless the linebacker comes back. And if the linebacker comes back, you should be watching this guy, or this guy, or this guy. Don't worry about over here. You either run the ball because you are watching these 2, or you pass the ball here because you're watching these 2. Period. You should not be throwing to this side where there's 5 defenders, only 3 blockers, and only 1 receiver. But that's what our $50 million quarterback does. And you would say, well, they blitzed. He's attacking the blitz. No, you attack the blitz when you have a guy in the slot and he runs like this, right? And then these guys all come. Lazard is covered the entire time. This is the dumbest pass of all the options. And look, they go all out, everybody pressure. So you got man coverage. They're not even worried about our receivers. Man coverage here, man coverage here, man coverage here. And A.J. Dillon here. Of all the guys to throw the ball to, I know Lazard is tall, but you got 2 unblocked guys coming straight at you. And you just had a tip pass. Use your head, quarterback of $50 million.
He's looking right at him there too.
Yeah, the whole time he looked at Lazard. He wasn't even watching the right players.
Yep.
And when you
so
watch
if he
here,
sees those guys coming, why doesn't he just release it to Dylan? Because all he has to do is break through that line. I mean, there's nobody there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at this setup. From Royce over, you have 5 defenders and only 3 guys.
Yep.
And over here, you got 3 guys blocking 3 guys. And not only
creating
that,
yeah,
there is no safety help.
right.
It's all man
Always there.
coverage on wide receivers over here. So if these guys don't come, okay, as a quarterback, I'm saying, okay, if this guy drops out, A.J. Dillon is in the end for a touchdown. Like if these guys are worried about the quick slant, or if this guy drops back for the quick slant, A.J. Dillon runs off of Runyon's butt and Riash, and boom, touchdown. Right? If any of these 3 guys drop out to cover this particular spot, which we know we have that slant on, you get it to A.J. Dillon. So you want to watch this guy right here. It's not even hard. I'm not even a quarterback. I'm not even that smart, but I can see it. And when none of them drop back, and what's he looking at? I don't know. Let's find out. He looks straight. He doesn't even attempt the play action. You see that? He doesn't even attempt the play action. He just took it right to his body. There was no attempt.
Those outside 2 cannot affect this running play. So literally you are manned up blocking, one-on-one blocking here at the line of scrimmage with 0 linebackers to worry about behind.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a handoff.
This is
by
a touchdown
anybody.
here, or it could be a touchdown pass right here. Either one would have been fine. But
It
he
should
has
be a
to throw
handoff.
to his.
I'm
Well, it
just
should be a
saying
handoff. Yes.
these 2 guys are so far outside, they're not affecting that running play, and then everybody else is manned up. One player to one player. It's one-on-ones across the line. No floating linebackers that you got to worry about jumping in a hole.
Well, maybe this guy right here.
You
But
have guys.
It wouldn't be. He'd still get the 2 yards.
Yeah. I mean, that's a handoff.
I think.
What do you say, Rick?
I was going to say, I think LaFleur had made the comment that, who knows, maybe the safety runs it down from the backside.
No.
How? Right? If you just have a designed run and go without putzing around, cutbacks, whatever, you just dive up the hole. There's no way that guy's going to come around and make the play behind the line of scrimmage. Look, I mean, just look. He'd have to come in that play.
Watch Rodgers again. There is 0 play fake here.
Right?
0 play fake. Just watch his body language. He doesn't even attempt to put. He takes it strictly to his body immediately and just looks to Lazard. No play fake.
Yeah. So this is where it becomes. This is it, and I'm going to say it because
that's your $50 million quarterback.
Yes, and it needs to be said. That is the difference between winning 1 Super Bowl over all these years and winning 7 Super Bowls over a whole bunch of years. Tom Brady in that situation hands the freaking ball off because he doesn't have to be the guy that scores the touchdown or the reason they win. Because at the end of the day, he knows that he'll get credit for the drive. Well, he just wants to win, but also the quarterback will be like, oh, the quarterback drove him down there. And yeah, he didn't get the touchdown in the end, but he still was, orchestrated the drive. But Rodgers wants to be more than orchestrating the drive. He wants to be the reason they score. He wants to be in his hand. Hand's got to be in that score. So he gets all the cred. And what that equals is predictability. The Giants coaches knew it. They somebody here, Callie Pack, I think, was talking about how the Giants coach at halftime said, what do we got to do? Says this, defense got to stop the quick passes, step up, put arms up, basically called it. They knew what they needed to do. You said it, Ben, 11 out of 25 completions at or behind the line of scrimmage. So,
and that one was an incompletion. So 12 passes at or behind. Well, I guess that wouldn't have been behind the line of scrimmage because he was thrown to the end zone to Lazard. But still, it was a quick pass.
Yeah,
I don't know. What I'm trying to show you is there's 2 problems with this run solution play or these run solution plays.
Mm-hmm.
The defensive line knows, number 1, the quarterback is getting rid of the ball really fast. I'm not going to get to the quarterback. So my first responsibility is stop the run. So you're already put yourself, your run solution is already handicapped now because the run cannot happen because the defensive line knows they can't get to the quarterback. Let's just make sure we're looking for the running back. Number 2 thing is the cornerbacks know that. So what do? They jump the route. Even if they're playing 8 yards off, as soon as the ball gets snapped, they attack and a tackle. Number 3, our guys don't freaking block that great out there. Lazard and those guys, they stink. They block for a second, and then it's usually that guy that they were blocking who makes a damn tackle, which is pathetic. And 4, our quarterback apparently doesn't know where to go with the ball. He doesn't know what he's supposed to look at. He looks to the side of the field where there's 6 defenders as opposed to where there's 5 defenders. And the side where there was 5 defenders, there was 3 blockers for the 3 rushers and 2 receivers covered by 2 guys with 0 safety help. That's the side the ball should have went to, not the side with 6 guys. It's Rodgers' fault. And the play before that, on 3rd and 2, it wasn't even a run pass option. It was a straight up shotgun pass with 0. A.J. Dillon immediately blocked. And that outside linebacker saw it, and instead of attacking, jumped back in the passing lane and took away the touchdown pass to Cobb, because Rodgers couldn't throw it right away because the guy was in the window. Because it was already, if there would at least would have been a run pass option, that guy would have attacked because he would have been like, ooh, the ball's coming out fast. I have to attack the run. But because there was no fake and the running back didn't come, he jumped back out, got in the passing lane, and then his defensive lineman got the tip. Well, actually, he didn't. It hit him in the head. Whatever. But a guy who makes $50 million a year can't see that stuff on 4th down? And when you know you're going to go for it on 4th down anyways, maybe run the goddamn ball on 3rd down. Because you might get 1 yard, and then it's fun instead of 4th and 2. But yet everybody wants to blame the coach. I just showed that 4th down play against that coverage had 2 options that would have worked, and only 1 option that wasn't going to work. Rodgers chose the one that wasn't going to work. Period. End the story. I'm sick of it. Diva Baby needs to go. This team can win. This team can win with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon and a quarterback who runs the damn offense and maybe will throw the ball more than freaking 0 yards down the field. I don't know. I think they could win. And on 3rd down, instead of chucking up some wounded duck 35 yards, maybe use his legs to get the 1st down. Like freaking Daniel Jones did against us the whole freaking game. At least the whole second half. Back to you. I'm so pissed. And Joe Barry's stupid-ass coverage. Don't get me wrong. His stupid-ass coverage is pathetic. And the fact that LaFleur never freaking game plans against his opponent is stupid, too. He just runs his offense, which is dumb. And then Rodgers can't read it, and it's stupid. And his whole team is stupid. And they all think they're geniuses. Rodgers thinks he's smarter than everybody else. LaFleur thinks he knows his stuff. Joe Barry thinks he's a genius. He said, oh, yeah, I'm best in the league. Okay, well, then let him fucking play. Oh, sorry. Anyways.
I want Rick's take on this. So Rick, here's what I find, because I look at things from the offensive lineman's perspective a lot. How difficult, and not only difficult, but also, Ben, you talk about it being not fun to watch at times. How not fun is it to be an offensive lineman in this offense where there are all these running plays called and then the guy just throws it and then you don't even get to really do anything. And then you got all these RPOs called where you gotta like not really aggressively try to block anybody because it might be a pass, but it might be a run and you don't know and nobody knows. Like, how hard would it be to be an offensive lineman in this offense and how unfun? To me, it seems like it wouldn't be fun and it would be really hard to do.
Well, maybe that's why, we hear certainly off-season, training camp about how great all these offensive linemen look. And then we see them in the game and they don't look very good. Is that it? I mean, like what you're saying with all these RPOs, it's basically shackling them, right? I mean, you can't attack for a run block because you can't get downfield. You can't get off balance if it is a pass and just look like Billy Turnstile and let the guy run past you. But then if it is a run, you're sitting back, right? So I mean, that's, I think, a good point. It doesn't matter how good of a run blocker you are if you can't attack on the run block. So you're really making them all be passive, right? You don't know how to attack. You don't know how to attack for the pass block. You don't know how to attack for the run block. You're basically, especially the tackles, it's the difference of getting your 300 plus pounds moving forward or backward, right? These aren't nimble Devontae-esque 215 pound guys out there. It's guys that are firing as hard as they can into someone who's equally as big or strong, trying to move them back. So yeah, I mean, maybe in practice they look great if they're actually practicing a run, but then when you get to game time and you're not doing that, maybe that's part of it, right? I mean, we've talked about it the last few years, like how the offensive line is supposed to look so great in the offseason and in practice, and gets to be game time. It's like, well, are the coaches watching the same thing that we see every week? Maybe that's it.
The other thing I think it's really key though is when you go up against a team who is not a very good defense or plays passive like the Packers do, that works. Those run solution plays, they're open all day long. You're getting 2, 3, 4 yards every play because the defense doesn't attack. They sit back and react, right? But you go against a team like the Giants or the Patriots or somebody like that, and the coach adjusts at halftime and says, well, these guys, they don't even throw the ball downfield. Screw it. Hey, you guys don't even worry about going to the quarterback because he doesn't care. He doesn't want to get hit. He's going to throw it away if there's any pressure, right? Just try to beat the guy in front of you. Look for the run first. And they attack and they blitz and they do things and they mess up the defense or the offensive line. And the offensive line can't be aggressive like you guys are talking about. And they have to just sit there. So if you go up against a good defense, it's going to look terrible. But in practice against our crappy defense, it still looked bad because we were there. We watched it this summer. Remember how terrible the offense was against our defense? So if they were that bad against our defense, we're not giving up a lot of yards. We're not giving up a lot of points. Okay. But they're not given that many opportunities either. But like you're saying, the aggressor always wins. It's what we beg for on defense. Don't be reactive. Be aggressive. And on offense, when you're asking your offensive linemen to be passive, you're already losing. They are less athletic than the guys they're going up against. There's freaks like Devontae Wyatt, who's super fast and agility and crazy, who can beat you. Against the Royce Newman type guy? Come on. The only advantage they have, they know when the ball's going to get snapped, so they can get the first lick. But if their first move is sideways or backwards, for God's sake, that play's done.
I want to share something with you guys. I saw this by accident, and I thought it was interesting, and we'll share it. Might get flagged on YT here, but we'll check it out anyway. So, this is the Giants coach, and he's talking about the game, some of the stuff that went down in the game.
Whoa.
And I thought it was interesting, so I'm gonna share it here.
Smarter, get us all smarter now. You got a little bit of speed on the field with Slayton, and talk a little bit about how you were able to hit him on a big crossing play and the mechanics of that.
Sure. So right now we have 2 tight ends in the game, and we're kind of overloading the formation to the offensive right. Obviously, 26 is back here, so you can see defensively they're all within kind of 10 yards of the line of scrimmage with eyes on 26. So what we try to do was an early down play call for us and use 26 against the defense. So we did a great job here of running off the ball by the offensive line. We fake the ball to 26 and get the flow of the defense to go with this run action. And they're rushing 5 guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're dropping this safety down to the formation strength with the 2 tight ends. So they got 3 guys underneath with 3 guys deep. And Marcus down here does a great job with his speed. He's a fast receiver of taking both defenders.
Best cornerback in the league. I mean, never mind.
All Slade does is have to use his speed and get across into this window to get a big gain if we suck these guys up. And it was really good ball handling by Saquon.
Well, they attack that one spot,
offensive line has low hats. Daniel extends it out, comes back, does a nice little boot setup. And since we sucked up the second level players right here in particular, that's an easy throw for Daniel to make as Slayton's coming across the field on his crosser.
And the read there, once the safety runs down into the box on the run action, it really opens up the window a lot more, right?
It opens up. And as you can see, Marcus does a great job of taking 2 defenders out of there. So as long as we get a good fake and we can bring these guys up, if Slade does a good job of getting his depth and staying friendly for the quarterback to make that throw, we have good levels on our separation of our route concept. Danny does a good job. Again, these are a little bit longer developing plays. So, with the boot action, it just gives us a little bit more time to let these receivers get down the field.
Hey, stop it
Good
once.
throw.
What he means by friendly, he just said he does a good job of staying friendly. What that means is instead of taking a crossing route at that 45-degree angle, he starts at a 45-degree angle. He knows that his quarterback is doing the fake and going to the opposite side. So he's got to throw it from the other hash to that side. So Slayton turns that 45-degree angle into more of like a 80-degree angle. You know what I'm saying? That's what he means by being friendly. When you watch the Packers do crossing routes, they're just doing their 45-degree angles, and sometimes they run into each other, of course, because they're idiots, but they don't ever become friendly to the quarterback. What you're doing is you're pulling two guys to the center, right? And then once you get to the center, break it to more of an angle so that your quarterback has a better throw. And that's what he was talking about by being friendly.
Well, and look at how there's really only two guys in the pattern basically here, right?
Yeah.
And they're both kind of attacking the same spot, but it's one's helping the other. He talked about how that guy
don't even get me started. Don't even get me started.
And also how they use their best player to draw the defenders in. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's simple, right? It's not hard, but I was watching it. I'm like, yeah, this guy knows what he's doing. It makes sense.
It was, I think, a great play called by the Giants. I mean, the defensive front, I can't fault the Packers for what they're doing here. If they were setting out to stuff the run and they didn't want to have Saquon beat them, that's fine. Why does Jair need safety help?
I don't know.
But, okay, fine. You're going to get burned on plays like this. It might happen. But, again, where are the safeties if there's really only two guys going out in the route?
So the one safety came up for run support on the play action. That's why he said he came down. He dropped down. They were expecting that, and they knew what they would do. But in this case, you also have to look at this, right? This is what I want to point out. Savage has to make a decision, and maybe his responsibility is to protect deep. I don't know. But he either comes here and jumps this to cut that off and leaves Jair one-on-one with the deep guy, or he helps out here. Now, if I'm thinking of two things, Jair's supposed to be the best corner, one of the best corners in the league. Okay. I would rather leave him one-on-one than Stokes one-on-one with a guy changing direction on him. And then the other thing is look at who this quarterback is. Is Daniel Jones an incredible deep ball passer for accuracy? Am I worried that Daniel Jones is going to hit this 40-yard pass against my best corner, apparently by the team standards or what they think? Or am I worried that he's going to get this easier pass here? So that to me is also coaching. And if they said Savage, stay deep and don't make decisions based on personnel, I don't get it. But that's the choice I would have made. So let me roll this a little more. I want to hear
big play for us on first down, which usually if you can get some big plays in a drive, that's a significant factor in helping you score points.
So let's take a look at the next play here, because when we're calling this game, both battling hard, and then you need that one. And I thought this was a turning point moment for this defense. Like, you're battling hard, and then you need that one play that can really change the tenor of how this game is going to go. And I thought this might have been it.
Yeah, absolutely, Carl. And you can see it's 3rd down and 8, which good playing on 1st and 2nd down helps you get to this situation. They're right at that line of field goal range. It's a 7-point game. We've come back from 17-3, got a little momentum going here. And this was absolutely right. A huge play and a turning point for us to get the ball back to the offense. And I thought just a well schemed up play executed by the defense. You can see they're in an empty set. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys out. So there's only 5 guys to protect. And in this case, we walk up 36, Tony Jefferson, up into this gap. And now we have 3 defenders to most likely their 2 players right here. And if you can see just slightly what happens is this guard right here has eyes to him. So if these guys have to squeeze, quarterback knows there's.
All right. Should your 18-year veteran quarterback not make some sort of protection adjustment here, Rick? 3 guys to their 2. One of them is Royce going against their biggest, strongest, best defensive lineman that's available in this game.
Yeah, it just no, I'm with you. I mean, these seem like it's simple maths.
Is the other problem also that Josh Myers is not Corey Linsley?
Or Lucas Patrick?
Or Lucas Patrick? Looking at the defensive line and adjusting the protection scheme too? Like, whose job is it to adjust the protection schemes?
Possibly. Might be on the center. I don't know. But on this play, I know Royce gets bowled over and it looks terrible, but Jenkins also gets beat and gives Rodgers nowhere to go. So they both got beat bad on the play.
It looked like Jenkins went inside first and then back to the outside.
We'll let it roll here.
There's nobody for that guy.
I just like this because we don't hear Matt LaFleur like break down plays like this. And when I saw this, I was like, hey, he's telling you what went down, and he's like telling you about it, and I think it's kind of cool. And he seems like he knows what the hell he's doing.
Up and comes back out. He holds him long enough where he has to go ahead and get readjusted to block, number 97, which is a hard guy to block, and he's been playing really well for us. And I just thought it timed up really, really well. Tight coverage all the way around. We're manned up. And anytime you can get into what we call the paint, which is where that quarterback likes to operate, that affects the passing game really more than.
And I wonder why, looking at this alignment here, look at this, okay? So really two guys here, right? So you got left guard and left tackle. You got Runyon and Yash. So Myers should immediately be shading this way.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he does. Let's see what he does. I can't remember.
Than anything. So if you just watch here, this right guard.
I want to watch the center.
36 stands up. He just takes a slight inside move, and now you can see we got one-on-one.
He's just sitting there in the middle. Why? And he almost looks like he's shading a little bit towards Runyon.
With Dexter.
He is.
He is.
If you're Josh Myers, why are you shading towards who's your better side of the line and your better guard here, especially when Lawrence is a monster? That dude's he's been tearing it up. And he's manned up against Royce, for crying out loud.
Even that aside, it's the simple math, right? I mean, I'm looking and these guys are like 2 millimeters tall on my phone, but you got 3 guys with 2 to your right versus 2 guys with 2 of your own guys to your left. Which way do you need that teeter-totter to balance out?
And Myers, I said, he's a big, strong dude, but he lacks awareness and blocking in space. He struggles. I don't know. Second round pick.
And Kayvon.
Now, when we look at the backside of this, and you talk about a guy that stepped up in the gap is Jefferson.
Yeah.
He literally stepped into the game, too. This is not a household name that fans are listening to on a regular basis. So to be able to have a guy
and Runyon ends up doing nothing,
get that type of execution in a big moment is big.
Exactly right. And again,
why is that line call not, okay, I'm shading right, Runyon, you're manning this guy, Yash has got out there. You know this guy's not going to come, and if he comes, Tunyon's going to be open right away.
Myers should take 36, and Roy should just be worried about 97 right away. But he has to worry about 36 and 97 because they're both lined up in front of him. It's not Royce's fault.
No, and then Myers goes to this guy, and Runyon ends up just standing around going like this. What?
Well, if anything, Royce should be looking to his inside gap would be my guess. So
and that's why Jenkins makes the inside move first too.
Right. Because you have to protect down. You got to protect your inside first.
Right.
So I don't know what the call is. The communication is. I don't know what's going on here.
You got Ox, outside linebacker, Hadi. Jihad Ward is sitting down. Kayvon, 36. We have some interchangeable parts, and really our only true defensive lineman that's an interior player is Dexter on the field. So, being able to move guys around and utilize their skill set is very important, both for us offense and defensively.
Let's talk a bit about special.
Yeah. Anyway, so I just thought it was interesting, kind of watch some of that stuff and hear their coach talk about it and break down the plays and talk about how they, what they thought and what they wanted and what they expected and what they got.
Well, the other thing that's key is there is putting guys in a spot to make it look like they're coming and probably showing in the past that that guy did come or a guy from that spot did come. And that's the difference between the Packers and other teams. The Packers will sometimes put Campbell and Quay Walker both at the A gap right in front of the center, but they hardly ever come. They usually both back out. And a matter of fact, there's a play where they both back out on 3rd and 4 where Daniel Jones just takes it and runs for the first down because he knows that they're not going to come. He as soon as he gets the ball, he's like, see ya. And he just starts running. He's coming. Because the Packers never blitz him. Because they're so vanilla with their stupid pass rush of the same 4 guys all the time. So, whatever. Rick, otherwise, videos. Let's go.
Got more videos? Okay. Just to note, the NFC North Vikings somehow pulled a win out of their ass again and are now 4-1. Packers are 3-2, Bears 2-3 after a terrible loss to the Vikings. And the Lions, God, the Lions, they should be so much better. They're freaking 1-4. Yeah.
With as ugly as the Packers have played, for me, it's kind of surprising that, first off, they're still on the winning side of things, but really only a game out, right? I mean, if anything, I know there's a lot of doom and gloom, and it's seemingly warranted, but at this point, they easily, they could be sitting at 1-4 like the Raiders, really. I mean, look, that'd be a long way to look up when a team at this point in your division has a 3-game lead on you. So, I think on the plus side, they're fortunate that they are still in the position that they are with as ugly as they've been playing. Right. But now, can the coach, can the quarterback, everybody have a short memory about this and get over it? Don't be so gun shy. You can't be so passive. Crappy things happen. But, okay, the defense, right? Now, for the first time in how long, do they actually have what should be a good secondary that lets you attack up front because you don't have to be playing back on your heels all the time? And what do? I mean, this is like the most passive, scared, defensive, the secondary, it's like they might as well just turn and start sprinting down the field. The one good thing is that it keeps guys in front of Stokes because he's got a 15 or 17-yard cushion on him all the time. But that's 3 plays. Like, you can pin them back within their own 10, and in 3 plays, you're going to be in field goal position. And when you're doing that, like, where's this defensive front? Where is there any sort of aggression anywhere? Other than Kenny Clark, who has had flashes of looking good, even though he's still not the one getting double teamed most of the time. But, they could have. I was thinking earlier today, there's been a lot of talk of, at least I've seen a lot of buzz online. You're like, oh, the Packers never should have got rid of Devontae. Well, I'd prefer that the Raiders didn't have Devontae, but okay. I mean, I know there's going to be a lot of secondary, like butterfly sort of effect, sort of downstream things, right? Like, if they kept Devontae, they wouldn't have a lot of these other guys. But would this offense really look any different? Would their record really be any different? Right? I mean, I know there's whatever connection he and Rodgers had, fantastic, right? There would have been plays they would have picked up a first down. There might be some more touchdowns. But I honestly feel like we just be seeing a redux of the just rehashing of that playoff loss from last year. Would there be anything different? I mean, we're seeing Rodgers looking for his guys with the tunnel vision still, but instead of looking for Lazard, he'd be looking for Devontae. Would he complete some more? Maybe. But there'd probably also be plays that we never even would have seen because he wouldn't even be looking anywhere else. Mm-hmm. And we saw the defense starting to figure that out late last season. So would having the most dynamic receiver in the league change? Or would they be 3-2? Or would they be at 2-3? I mean, I just don't believe that if they had somehow, if everything else this season had stayed the same, they somehow could just keep Devontae for free. Would things look any different? And I don't think they would look that much different. What do you guys think?
I agree with you. And actually, Devontae Adams is a very good possession receiver. And you don't pay possession receivers top dollar in the NFL. You just don't. Sorry. He's not dynamic. He's not fast. He's very limited. And I saw with the Raiders too. Like, yeah, he'll catch some 10-yard, 8-yard, 9-yard, maybe a 14, 15-yard ball. But he's not burning you deep. He's not scaring anybody that way. And on top of and he's not great run after the catch guy either. Like, he's okay, but he's not that shifty. He's not good at breaking tackles. Like, he has zero acceleration. Like, he's pretty much as fast as he's going to be right away, and it's not that fast. So for that kind of guy, I mean, for the money he wanted, I mean, I'm sorry. I apologize to you, Rick. The Packers made it like bandits on that one. Yeah. And the season wouldn't be any different at all.
No, we'll be seeing, because Oakland was in financial cap hell, probably as bad or worse than the Packers. So I think we'll be seeing in 2 or 3 years what the Packers avoided by getting rid of him. but they're going to have their own challenges with whatever falls out with Rogers. But that's a whole show there.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to pay Gary by then, and all that stuff is gonna happen. But okay, Ben, I know you got plays. Should we wait for the unsung hero? I have one unsung hero. Want me to do it or do the plays? Ben.
I don't care.
All right, we'll do the plays.
Nope.
Unsung hero after the play. Oh, come on. You get the play. Let's go. Oh, fine. All right, I'll make it quick. My one unsung hero is the guy that we gave crap to last week. So let's hear it.
And now it's time for the Hafeman Bros silent but deadly player of the week.
That player in this game is clear cut. TJ Slayton, the guy we said sucked, didn't do anything in the first bunch of games, didn't look good in the preseason, looked like he should have been cut. We called him out last week, and this game he was doing stuff. He was making penetration, he was making plays, he was beating double teams, he was causing havoc for at least a lot in the first half. So to me, I'll give him the nod as unsung. Interior lineman guys are unsung here, can be unsung all the time. And he stepped up his game, and he actually played pretty well. So TJ Slayton, my silent but deadly player of the week, TJ Slayton.
I can get on board with that.
He made a couple plays, and also he kind of sucked. So I don't know what to tell you.
Well, that's a couple more plays than he made the rest of the season. So I'm going to give him some credit for it.
Pretty slim pickings this week. I mean,
my runner-up was Shamar Jean-Charles for a couple of good kick coverage plays. So that's what I had for you out of that game. So anyway, Lee said it was a shameful loss. He said it was a shameful loss by the Packers. Shameful.
Truly shameful.
And Aaron Rodgers apologized to all the fans for he wanted to come out and put on a show, Ben. Or he mean the Packers wanted to come out and put on a show. Then maybe that was it. Or was it Aaron Rodgers wanted to? I can't remember.
Aaron Rodgers wanted to.
Oh, that's what it was.
He even told Matt LaFleur that he wanted to pass more to put on a show before the game.
Well, he got it. 39 attempts versus 19 rushes. So
because I think he thought they were going to win no matter what. Because he's, Aaron Rodgers. He's the best.
All right. What's your next play?
I'm watching them right now to see if they're good.
I'm sure they're fine.
Remember when Favre was ringing up all his touchdowns by throwing the 2-yard dump offs to Edgar?
Oh my God. I said something to Ben during the game. I said, because Aaron Rodgers has, I don't know how many less than 4 3-yard touchdown passes this year. He's got a bunch of his touchdowns. Most of them are under 3 yards, 3 or 4 yards. And some of them are the 1 or 2 varieties. And those used to drive me crazy how many 1-yard TDs Favre had. Rodgers is, he's taken the mantle up. He's following the footsteps of the grand number 4 who they celebrated his birthday this last week, even though he's, been in the news for other things lately other than his birthday.
Yeah. So, maybe this coming off season, he'll reinvent his persona again and this time start wearing Wrangler jeans and
probably.
I wish he'd just go away.
He can pretty much do whatever he wants, I guess. And yep, still love him, lovable Favre, no matter what. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Just like Rodgers, lovable Rodgers too. Okay. Got some defensive plays, Ben?
Yes, here we go.
But if my phone dies, I'm going to be bowing out. I'm getting low on battery, so if I disappear, just want to at a time. Have a good night, guys. And
hey, Rick, thanks for it, and thanks for your beef with your head coach, Josh McDaniels. I agree. Terrible. Not what you expected. But you can also blame Devontae some of the time.
Yeah, all the time. We're going to watch these real quick. I want to show you this play because this is the play Rasul Douglas got called for defensive holding on. Let's watch it real quick. Watch Rasul. I got him circled. Just watch Rasul Douglas, and watch how he got called for defensive holding on this play. That was defensive holding, and I don't see a flag right now. So after the sack, all of a sudden the flag showed up. I don't know where the flag was. We just saw that whole field. I didn't see a flag. So that extended the drive, and everybody gave Rasul the crap because he got called for that one penalty was really bad. Now this play, all we're going to look at, I want you to watch two players, Quay Walker and Devondre Campbell, and watch their pursuit to the quarterback after he runs for and scrambles for some extra yards. Watch the pursuit. Right here. Take a look. Campbell's here. Quay Walker is here. Daniel Jones is here. Okay? They don't know what's going on behind them, but they do know where the quarterback is. Watch these two guys and tell me which one looks like a guy who's playing football and look here. I don't know what he's doing. Why doesn't Campbell attack?
I
Also,
don't know.
Let's look at this. Here you got Gary, who does an inside and then outside move. Dean Lowry, outside move. They don't hold their pass rush. And this is a guy in Daniel Jones who's been known to scramble. That's pretty much what he's best at. He's actually not very good at throwing. Yet we don't hold our pass rush discipline. Daniel Jones just goes. He could have ran through the first hole. Then he gets for extra yards.
When was the last time the Packers defensive line actually maintained their rush lanes or any sort of containment?
And then there's this frickin' fiasco. And I'm going to show you the guy who's the main culprit. There's two guys, and they're from the same exact draft class, first-round picks. You're going to watch our guy, Rashawn Gary. Now, Devondre Campbell told him to come over here. Okay. And you're going to watch Darnell Savage, the first-round picks from the same draft class. Gary, for some unknown reason, does not hold the edge. He decides to try to beat his guy in an inside move for reasons nobody knows. And then, of course, Savage can't tackle him.
Unless he thought Campbell had the outside on this, but I don't know.
No.
Campbell probably should have the outside. He was lined up at the beginning of the play as the outside guy. Like, once he lines up outside Gary,
but why is Gary making an inside move?
Because he doesn't have outside contain here. So he has the ability to potentially do that.
I understand that.
And I don't know what key. I don't know what key he's
4 guys blocking. And right. You go on, and everybody is flowing that way. Why are you going this way?
His key should probably either be 31 right here, or maybe this guard. This must be the guard or center. I can't remember. It must be maybe it's a tackle who's flowing, but he's probably reading. He's probably supposed to read this guy, but the problem is they're all worried about this guy, 26 Barkley, right? So,
well, this is
probably just got caught with his eyes on him.
Like, there's no quarterback,
right?
If the ball's here, why are you trying to cut back in when the entire offense is flowing to this side?
Yeah, especially because Saquon Barkley is faster than you. So,
can you play it back? Did Barkley just immediately go to his left, or did he take a jab to the right? Just wondering if there's any sort of counter action that would have sucked him in.
Well, the snap was bad.
One quick jab that way.
But I think that's because the snap was bad. Yeah, the snap was just bad.
I mean, that could have been it with his right foot going that way. He might have just been reading.
Well, then he's got some insane reflexes then. But not good enough to get his reflex back again.
Yeah.
And the next play is just a simple pass.
I'm just looking for, there might be an explanation for it.
I'm just thinking who had, the outside contain there. Yeah. And then, as you pointed out, I think during the game, Ben, Jair was more than happy to get blocked on that play to kind of stay out of it a little bit. So,
yeah, no kidding.
That's kind of his MO on running plays. Once I've said this about him because he stepped up and he got a couple of big hits and tackles right in the game, and the people was like firing him up, and people were like, "Oh, Jair's bringing the energy." He will
in the first half.
He will attack those plays now if the ball carrier or receiver, usually it's some guy catching the ball. Sometimes it's a running back. Most times it's a smaller receiver. If that guy has his back to him, okay. But if that guy is face up on Jair, he shies away from that tackle. So he'll attack and make his big hits when the guy's got his back to him, and it's a lot easier to bring guys down and not nearly as a big of an issue when you're trying to take them head on. But if you go shoulder to shoulder on some of those big guys or whatever, or even guys that are not much bigger than him, he doesn't really attack it the same way. So notice that if you watch games closely, you'll notice he only attacks when the guys have their backs turned.
Yeah.
All right.
Here, put on this here real quick. This is the last drive. This is the big Saquon Barkley pass. And this is the kind of stuff that happens all the time for the Packers, this miscommunication stuff. And the reason why I want to show it is because Quay Walker, just a heads up for everybody, this is second down. On first down, the Giants ran the ball to the top of the screen here. The Packers snuffed it out and stopped it. The Giants did not huddle. They just got around kind of quick, and Daniel Jones told everybody what to do on the next play. So the Packers defense is not quite sure. There's not a play called here, okay? So there's no play called, and guys are just kind of reacting to things. And Quay Walker, when you watch from the other angle, you're going to see his hand go up like he doesn't know what the play call is. What he does do, though, is because he's over here, he covers the tight end because the tight end comes out on this crossing route, and Quay sticks with him. And you're going to watch Campbell here have the Saquon Barkley come out of the backfield, and he points to Quay Walker. But by the time he points to Quay Walker is already down here covering the tight end. So there's nobody who picks up the most dangerous player on the Giants. And it's just stupid. There, see that? He's pointing. And here's the other thing. It's really weird.
They're coming to cover. Who are they covering here in the flat?
And it's two guys. They're both, and it's Adrian Amos and Campbell. I don't know what they're looking at. 31, I guess, is over here. 31 is the only eligible receiver. There's already 1, 2, 3, 4 receivers out in the field. And Quay Walker is covering this guy man to man. This is a 3 deep zone, obviously. I don't know quite, but nobody knows what it was called because the Giants they didn't huddle. There was no play call. They just got up and went, right? Maybe Campbell knows what the play call was, but he didn't communicate it to the guy right next to him. So what's Quay Walker going to do? He's like, I don't know. I guess I'm just going to cover this guy man to man. And then, of course, you got this huge play, and then Savage looks like a freaking fool, and there you go. And then who's the guy who tackles the Quay Walker, who wasn't even, he was covering a tight end. And everybody's like, why is Quay Walker? Oh, my God, what happened? The other key, there's no play action on this play. And the reason why I said no play action is why is Campbell and Amos over here biting to this running back, both of them biting to the running back? You're going to watch Daniel Jones. He does no play action. 31 just kind of goes and helps to protect or does something over here as Saquon Barkley is lined up over here and comes across the field. And you're going to watch Quay over here. He puts his hand out like, what's going on? Or he already did it already. Here, I'll back it up a little bit so you see. So you know what I'm talking about. Right after. See how he's looking like,
yeah.
What's going on, everybody? So no play action at all. Campbell points to what is he pointing to? How does that help you? Is that your leadership? Your communication on the field? You're just pointing to guys after they've already spent time covering somebody?
Maybe that was the one play that they were going to try to shut down the bootleg.
I don't know.
Look, I got to give Quay Walker credit. He's playing hard. He's looking good. He's a lot better than I expected. And despite on that play, he ran down Barkley. He's pretty damn. His speed is evident.
Right. I mean, he's playing with some instinct, which no one else in the defense is doing right now.
Yeah.
And this is the very next play, and the reason why I'm showing it is for 2 reasons. Right here, this guy is holding Kenny Clark, and there's nobody else around. Not called. This receiver here, you're going to see him block Savage in the back. Right there. Not called. So there's 2 opportunities of a penalty, which would push him back 10 yards, and they probably would not have scored a touchdown in that case. But they were not called. But Rasul Douglas got called earlier on an earlier drive. Really touched the guy on defensive holding. Where here, Kenny Clark is getting held, and here, Savage is getting blocked in the back. And, of course, Savage doesn't make this tackle because this guy shoves him right past, even though this guy's correctly fallen over. But they don't call it. Savage gets shoved out of the play because he gets blocked in the back, and there's another 10-yard gain with the running game. Now, is that the Packers' defense that sucks at run blocking? Or is it Kenny Clark got held, Savage got blocked in the back? I don't know. Now, was the play before really stupid and bad? Yes, it was. And how did it happen? We talk about it. Miscommunication because the Giants never huddled, so the Packers never got a call in, and Quay Walker's like, crap, I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do. Devondre Campbell doesn't tell him anything. He just covers the guy in front of him. I don't blame that on Quay Walker. He's a rookie, and he covered the tight end pretty damn well. So Devondre Campbell and Adrian Amos both attacked nothing. They were within 5 yards of each other, covering nobody. So I don't blame Quay Walker for that play, yet everybody's all over Quay Walker. Devondre Campbell is a problem. A big problem. This is not the only play like this where he's pointing at things and doing nothing. That's what he does. He just points at guys and does nothing.
How do these same problems keep manifesting year after year after year with different coaches and different coordinators?
It's the same question about the special teams. Why has it been so bad for so long? Like, I don't know.
Well, that I almost see, like, if it's coming from higher up, like, we can't risk our guys on special teams. Like, okay, that part of it, like, I can almost see that. But this, like, plug and play any of the defensive coordinators, like the last three, it could have been any of them calling this game, and you couldn't tell which one it was. Like, seriously, like, where is this coming from?
I don't know. It goes back to what I was asking before, which is knowing your opponent. Like the last two games, why so soft? Like, who's the quarterback you're facing? Why are you playing so soft? Are you worried about these quarterbacks? You shouldn't be. Like, I mean, I get if you want to play soft, if you're playing one of these guys like Herbert or Mahomes or somebody that slings it around really well and whatever. But when we play Josh Allen later, okay, I get it. But I don't know.
Maybe these guys beat you. I think it was Herman talking about it earlier this week with the, like, okay, you're putting the ball in these guys' hands. Like, if one of the guys makes a big play and beats you for 50 yards, great. Congratulations. But I think more often than not, with the guys the Packers have on defense, if they came out aggressively and attacked, they would eat those guys alive. And you hit them 3-4 times. You make some big plays, and they're not going to be taking those chances downfield because they're not going to have time. They're going to be getting jumpy. They don't want to throw another interception. But make those guys beat you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Football does not have to be that hard sometimes.
All right. Hey, I got to duck out. So
thanks, Rick.
Talk to you guys later. Good show.
Appreciate you, Rico.
Later, guys.
Raiders 2-4 after next week.
All right, show me this play.
We got it.
Here's another Devondre Campbell. I want you to look at this. You got zone coverage here. Douglas, Stokes, Savage, Amos, Jair, all zone. These guys all rushing. Okay, so we got nickel with only a single inside linebacker. For some unknown reason, Devondre Campbell's playing man. When he plays, he vacates this zone because Jair is kind of back here, and this guy's running down a streak, so he's got to cover kind of both. And you're going to see 13 run like he's going out here, and then he comes around like this, and he's open here because this spot was vacated, and this guy runs forward because there's nobody covered in the flat over here. Why is that? What's going on? So as you see, Douglas, zone. Savage, zone. Stokes, zone. Jair, zone. Campbell vacates this area to go cover out here.
Yeah, they're attacking. They're attacking spots, though, and making the Packers make decisions, right?
Right. And we're there, but it was third down and like 6. And we just given them the 6. And Campbell was there. And I showed you the plays earlier where the Packers were on offense and the opposing team sat in that passing lane. But Campbell just leaves the passing lane. And Jair's there, yes. But he's not a good tackler.
They passed it off. They passed that one off on the cross, which was smart, but he wasn't able to bring the guy down. Yeah.
And here's a crossing route. The same. This might be the play that he showed. It's very similar. But you're going to see a streak here. You're going to see Saquon Barkley take everybody out over here. And you're going to see this guy. Wide simple crossing pattern with play action, which sucks in everybody. Everybody's playing zone. And you've got Anibare down here covering nobody. Quay Walker over here covering nobody. Stokes running deep. I don't know why, because Amos is here to cover this. And here you got Savage trying to take care of this guy all by himself, with Jair going deep here. So you've got 3 guys in a zone covering no one because they're not even worried about attacking that. This play attacks here, if vertical. It attacks with Saquon is going to sneak out over here, who Campbell's covering. And then Savage here going here. But all these other guys just standing around doing nothing because it's zone. And it's a first down, a huge play. And you might say, why is that? I don't know.
Because they drew plays that stressed the defense in certain areas and it made it easy for their quarterback, and their quarterback made the right decision.
The zone defense has to end because all we're doing is, I just showed there. We got 3 guys doing nothing. We showed the other play before. We're both Amos and Campbell, who are supposed to be 2 of our best players and most veteran players, doing nothing on a crossing route. I would at least on that one crossing route that you had Dabo show, at least Stokes was trailing and trying to cover him. At least he was in the vicinity.
Yeah.
These plays I've showed, there's not even anybody anywhere near them. Because they're just standing around and watching them. Hey, you want to run over there? Yeah, go ahead. You want to run over there? Go ahead. It's ridiculous. And then when they do cover guys, they don't send a blitz and they don't hold their gap integrity. And a quarterback like Daniel Jones just scrambles for more yards. I could show more plays. It's already almost 10 o'clock. But the offense is bad. I want to explain this. It's bad. And it's no fun to watch. And I could show a bunch of plays there. I've got a whole bunch of plays. We're not going to get to them. But the defense, this zone defense, is the worst thing I've ever seen. And it's not about the numbers, where everybody is saying how, they're not giving up that many yards. And they're doing better against the run at times. But they give up gashing plays against the run. Because if one guy misses a tackle, you're screwed. And they're not getting in the backfield. When was the last time you saw a Packer make a play in the backfield? Your guy, your what's his name? TJ Slayton, your stinkier guy of the week. He got in the backfield a couple times.
He did.
But he missed some tackles. He got back there, didn't make the play.
Well, that was
Don't get me wrong. Preston Smith does that all the time, too.
That's a big improvement for him.
I mean, Slayton is like the new Kingsley Kiki, where he would beat this guy, get to the backfield, and then not make the play. Right? That's fine. But this zone defense is dumb. They're not playing well. The best defensive performance they played was against Tampa Bay. And why? Because a bunch of guys got hurt. And Soooo was just like, I don't know if you saw his interview after the Tampa game. He's like,
I did. It was awesome.
I just played man. Nobody told me what was going on. I just played man the whole time. And it was great. He shut down freaking, what's his face, the whole game.
Yeah, Scotty Miller.
Scotty Miller the whole game because he just played man. And that's why they look so good. And then not only that, who else looked great the week after? Ford and Nixon, who were in zones, but they attacked immediately when a guy got in their zone. They attacked and covered. Stokes, Jair, Savage, Amos, Campbell. None of them attack and cover when guys come in their zone. They just stand there and let them go.
Mm-hmm.
The only guys who attack and cover out of the starting secondary and linebackers is Quay Walker and Rasul Douglas. Everybody else is passive as hell, and they don't cover anybody, and they just let them run right past them. So if you're a coach and you're watching this on film, and it's week 6 now coming up, and your guys obviously suck at this, change it. I know you spent the whole offseason working on this. I know you spent all preseason working on this. Apparently, these guys don't get it. And if he would have played a little bit in the preseason, maybe we would have seen him not get it. And therefore, we would know what's going on. That needs a change. It's terrible.
Yeah. It's a tale as old as time. I mean, so many in the Packers. It's not unique to the Packers. There are a bunch of teams that play these zone defenses, and players don't know how to play them. But in actuality, zone just means you have this area of the field that you stay, and that is kind of your responsibility. But if someone comes into that area, you cover them like it was man coverage in that little area. It just means that you don't follow them all around the field. But players see it as, oh, I got to cover this whole area. No. You're covering a person or a player that comes into this area, and you cover them like you want to prevent them from being open. That's how you actually should play zone. But for whatever reason, a bunch of players do not know how to do that. They just are so focused on the area that they're supposed to be in. That's what they end up doing.
I think we need to get this we need to. Oh, sorry.
That's why a lot of times it doesn't work. Anyway,
I think we need to get into this next game.
All right,
we got to start.
People are worried about the Jets. Aaron
They should
Rodgers
be.
didn't like that Jair was like, well, we could lose to the Jets. I don't like that
Jets.
talk.
The Jets scored 40 points.
Manifest. I say positive things and I manifest them into Super Bowl victories. Oh wait, no, I don't. No.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Aaron Rodgers
No, he doesn't. He
So
sure doesn't
anyway.
know how to read defense either. I proved that on the earlier video.
All right, you're concerned about the Jets. They're tougher than they used to be, thanks to Saleh, right? He's kind of a tough guy.
Well, who's on the opposing team? Robert Saleh on defense and Matt LaFleur's brother on offense. When was the last time we saw those two guys on the field against us? Oh, yeah, the playoffs in 2019 where we got freaking destroyed.
He says they have fire and heart, unlike the Packers don't show a lot of heart and they don't show a lot of fire.
And they have a lot of speed on defense, by the way. And Saleh's got him playing and running around doing crazy stuff. I'm telling you right now, I am not picking the Packers to win until they show me that they can change their philosophies on offense and on defense. I want to see some man on defense. Not all the time. Not all the time. But the majority of the time. And then you trick them with a little bit of zone here and there. Especially man on third down. You can play zone at first and second, but actually they're getting creamed on that too. It's not, you know what? Forget it. Take it back. Man, most of the time. And on offense, I am sick of these 0-yard passes and these freaking run solutions because they're not solutions. All they are is the solutions to you not moving the ball.
I'm pretty sure all the offensive linemen are sick of them and the running backs are sick of them too.
So I picked the Jets to win. I don't know what the score is. I have no idea. But LaFleur, we already know. When he goes up against his friends, he loses. He loses. He won one time against Kyle Shanahan last season on a last-second field goal by Mason Crosby, and that's it. Otherwise, he
won
loses.
that one time when all those 49ers had all those guys out because of COVID, then they won that one too, remember? Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
That was it.
But when it counts, and when he has to play against his buddies, Shanahan, Saleh, his brother, he's losing.
Man, that's rough.
And they know exactly what he likes to do, and they will take advantage of it. And Saleh's defense will take advantage of it. And until he can show me that he can coach and change, I don't believe in Joe Barry. And until LaFleur can show me that he can tell Rodgers to run the goddamn offense and stop doing this crap where he just chucks it up, and they changed this RPO crap, which I don't think they're going to change.
Aaron Rodgers liked all those calls, though. He said he liked all those calls in that when it was 2020 and they got the ball. And
well, I have that. You want to look at those calls? Let's just look at them real quick.
Rodgers said he liked all those calls. Those were all.
Let's look at them real quick.
He likes
because those calls were crap.
That was like the most pivotal. I don't care if all the other stuff that happened. That was the most pivotal point in the game. The defense was getting. They needed a break. It was 2020, 20-20. You are not like, why? It's just dumb. Show me how dumb it was.
We'll do it real quick.
What does David say? I want to see them pound somebody in the face. Yeah. And I want to see him pound the rock. Pound the rock, David. That's the only wild card, Ben. I know you don't want to pick them, but if they give the ball to Aaron Jones like 25 times, they'll probably win.
Not if they run solution crap, because the Jets are going to know what to do.
Well, if they actually hand it to him, that many times.
Who's going to block for him? Royce?
If they call running plays and not the RPOs, where the lineman can fire off a little more,
then it works. But they don't do that.
Well, let's hope they change and get smarter and better.
All right, my stuff is kind of whacked out here on this.
I got you. We got lots of drawings on this one.
Yeah,
nice.
All right, Aaron Jones is going to creep out like this. When he does, that takes this guy 24 over with him. Okay.
So it's 20-20 here. The defense just got 2 back-to-back long drives where they got their butts kicked. They're tired. They're like, please, offense, just possess the ball for a while. Give us a break.
You're going to watch Allen Lazard go on a kind of like a angle route to the outside here. And his job is to run up and take out 44 so that Dobbs is open on this slant. When Jones comes out like this, that pulls this guy over. So there's a hole here to pass the ball. The only guy who might be there is this guy. That's where the ball needs to go. And he has to throw an anticipation throw, which Rodgers threw a pick. And he's looking at something. I don't know what he's looking at. But
Lazard sure is not open here.
No, but you know where he throws the ball? He throws to Lazard. So if you're looking at this, I got it in slow motion, but that's right there.
Both those guys heading to the flat they're looking at Jones and they have their backs turned. They're not going to pivot and make that play on that ball if he throws it behind them, right?
And this brings back to your video with Dayball. Dayball said, yeah, we're going to have our best guy attract the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Here's 2 guys covering Aaron Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And here's Allen Lazard taking out the guy who's supposed to be covering Dobbs. He runs right into him. Wow. This is a slant window. And guess what? If he catches it, this is the only guy who could maybe stop him.
Wow.
Now, Jalen Smith is coming over, but this is where the ball should be thrown. Right here. These guys are not looking at you, Rodgers. They're not going to pick you off. Right here. But you know where he throws it? He throws it to here. But Lazard runs into 44 on purpose so that Dobbs gets open. Does Rodgers know the offense?
So maybe Rodgers is right. This play, I like this play call, actually. It looks like
it's a great play call. And now Lazard's putting hands up in the air. Lazard, you ran into 44. You did your job. You were supposed to get Dobbs open. Rodgers threw guy. Rodgers should have thrown to Dobbs. The play was set up to go to Dobbs. And Rodgers just did whatever he felt like. He took a shot. And that ball wasn't anywhere near Lazard.
No. It was a throwaway, basically.
It's a wasted play. Perfect pocket.
How many other quarterbacks throw that in there? Quite a few of them. There's a guy in Detroit who would have threw that in there. And actually, he's been playing pretty damn well this season, even though his team
he sucked the other day.
Now, yeah, another play is bad, but
right here. Guess what we got? Randall Cobb. He's going to be open here. Dobbs here. He's going to take it outside and come back in. Rodgers could actually throw. He should throw to Dobbs. He chooses to go here to Cobb.
Let's look at the alignment here real quick. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across the front. And then we got one guy covering the receiver out there. Then we have one backer behind. So we got what, 6? Would you call this 7 in the box, I guess?
I'd call it 7 in the box, yeah.
So, I mean, wouldn't you normally maybe think about running it in a 7-man box?
Okay, the play call is a pass on 2nd and 10. I'm not worried about what they should have called. I'm worried about what they did call and how Rodgers sucks.
He's got all the freedom and to change stuff. But anyway.
Look at this. Throw it now. Throw it right here.
Open. He's open.
But he waits too long. Now he throws it after 2 hitches. Well, now the guy caught up to him and breaks up the pass. And now look down here. Dobbs is open here. But he should have threw it. But take 2 hitches. Let's walk it back again. Watch Rodgers, and he takes a double hitch instead of just letting it go. As soon as he gets to his back foot, 1, 2, 3, turn, right there.
Yep. Let it go.
Throw it right now. He's open. Throw it right now. And look at this.
Josh Myers is laying on the ground, so let it go,
laying on the ground, but there's a passing lane right here to throw it.
Yeah, throw it.
Right here. 2 right here. Perfect. But watch Rodgers double hitch, then throw it late. There you go. So that's 2 plays that should have been first downs had Rodgers thrown to the right guy on the first play and thrown at the right time on the second play. Right now. Nope,
Yeah,
double hitch.
let it go, man.
Throw it late. Double hitch, throw it late. And then the last play is not as creative. 2 deep ins, but it's 3rd and 10. And then Lazard going deep, and Rodgers just chucks it up to Lazard for reasons nobody knows. I mean, and Aaron Jones makes a great pickup, by the way, on this, because there's 7-man pressure. And then we all, there's your 3 and out.
Even if you called like a comeback on that, or and Alan Lazard just running straight down the field by himself where he's not clearing out for somebody is just dumb.
Well, those plays didn't work together.
Right.
And not only that, you just go on my one-on-one. My guy's going to win his one-on-one. Alan Lazard is not a guy who's going to win his one-on-one. It's just not ever going to happen, especially on a streak route. He just runs straight.
Right.
It's dumb. It's a dumb play. It's a dumb throw. The other thing we want to look at here, this defensive tackle and this defensive tackle or defensive end both drop out in coverage.
Mm.
And they send 5 across the outside. No, 5 goes here. This guy goes here. This guy goes here. This guy wraps around. Or 55 here. This guy drops back. So this is what Dabo was talking about, where they put guys here and make these guys think they got to block them, and it confuses the offensive line. Like Aaron Jones is worried about over here. He's not worried about 29 coming because there's all these linebackers in here. He's like, crap, So Jones' first step is to go over here to help out. Then he sees 29 coming. He comes back and picks him up, which saves the throw. But it's to a guy who's not covered on a dumb play, so it doesn't matter. But watch Aaron Jones on this. So he comes in because he sees those big guys, right? But then the big guys drop out. And then here you got Runyon blocking nobody. Royce blocking nobody. And this guy coming around the edge. And thank God Aaron Jones is quick on his feet and gets over there and picks him up and knocks him out so Rodgers has enough time to get that throw out. But it's to a dumb, covered guy. Now, should that have been pass interference? Yeah. Probably. They call pass interference on Rasul Douglas. Defensive hold on Rasul Douglas earlier for no reason. I showed you the play after the Packers sacked the guy. But that they don't call it on? It's very strange to me. So I don't know. And I don't want to complain about the refs.
No.
Because this the last 3 plays showed, because everybody's like, pass, that's a problem. No. Dobbs was open. Rodgers didn't throw the ball. Cobb was open. Rodgers waited too long to throw the ball. And on 3rd down, Aaron Jones picked up the blitz. Awesome. And Rodgers threw a stupid, dumb move to duck to a guy who wasn't open. He had no chance getting open because it was a dumb play call. So if they keep doing this, the Jets are going to win. And I don't want to watch it. That's why I'm so mad today. I'm sorry I've been cranky all night. And I've been cranky at you and Rick. But after watching this film and going through, I got bored. I'm going to show it all. But it's the same crap.
Yeah.
Our $50 million quarterback doesn't play like a $50 million quarterback. He plays like a guy who should be playing in high school. How does Bailey Zappi come and win games? Who's a 6th-round pick or whatever the hell he was from out of nowhere. And we have a $50 million quarterback who can't throw a simple slant to a guy who's open.
Well, look at the guy on the other side of the field in this game, Daniel Jones. I mean, who's more talented?
I think Daniel Jones is more talented right now.
Wow, come on. Daniel Jones isn't, but Daniel Jones he did whatever he had to try to win. Aaron Rodgers did what he wanted to be the reason they won. So, I don't know. I
get it. Aaron Rodgers has a really quick release. So it works great with those run solution plays. I totally get it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see an entire offense of run solution plays.
No,
but maybe LaFleur has to call those because it's obvious when they don't call run solution plays, Rodgers doesn't throw the ball. So maybe LaFleur has no choice but to call these run solutions. Because at least he knows he'll throw those.
He takes all the heat when stuff doesn't go well. But
I know he does.
The media pressed him pretty good this week. I was impressed. I was impressed by the Green Bay media for a change. Yeah, actually pressing LaFleur on.
He didn't give us any good answers.
No, he didn't. But they were trying to get some out of him because they're like, well, if you want to run the ball and you didn't run the ball enough, why was that? what happened here, and same thing with the defensive calls. Like, why are you playing? I know you don't want Saquon Barkley to beat you, but why is so much zone and so much soft, coverage and all this sort of stuff? And I mean, they asked the right questions this week. I was impressed by the media. Yeah. So, and he gave a few answers that were kind of interesting and a lot where he was just dodging, but at the same time, it's like, look, man, there's stuff that makes sense. There's stuff that doesn't make sense. There's stuff that makes football harder. And there's stuff that makes football easier. And the Packers tend to do what makes football harder. So I answer that question. Why is that? I don't know why the hell that is, but it doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
yeah.
When you play a good defense like this that's coached well, we saw the offensive line have communication issues on protection. Mm-hmm. On defense, our defense has communications on coverage in zones. So you can't predict when the defense that you're going up against is going to drop guys out, show a bunch of guys, and then drop certain guys out. That you can't fix. But you certainly can fix the fact that your defense is playing zone and they suck at it. So if that doesn't change this week, I don't know what to do. Because that is something that's obvious that any blind man could see because they've heard it all week. So they can't see it, but they've heard all week how zone coverage sucks. Packers zone coverage sucks.
Yeah, and you would think if you, and he said, I think what Joe Barry is quoted saying this week, that their cornerbacks are elite, or they have elite defensive backs, or whatever it is. I don't know if he was including safeties or whatever. But if you really feel you have that, then like let those guys man up and play guys. Like I don't understand. I particularly don't understand the last couple of games against these quarterbacks. Know your opponent, know what they can do. Don't be afraid. Play aggressive. And I think what you were saying earlier made the biggest point is that at least you want to see stuff that works together that seems to make sense. Yeah. So if you're going to play that soft zone, then bring pressure so you're forcing the ball to come out quick. So then those guys can sit at a marker like 7 or 8, 10 yards and then attack everything in front of them because they know the ball is going to come out short. And if you're going to play tight, right, then you're throwing off the timing and then you're giving your good pass rusher guys like Gary an extra half second or second to get to the quarterback. And then you don't have to bring pressure. And that works together. But when you're doing things that don't work together, when the pass rush and the coverage is not complementing each other, that's just stupid defense.
It's stupid.
And on offense, when you're running all these run solutions, RPOs that take away the aggressiveness of the offensive lineman, I would say that's stupid too. Just call more actual running plays and call more actual passing plays. So then the linemen know what to do. And maybe they'll play better. Just a possibility. I don't know.
I want to see a change. And if I don't see the change, I'm not going to put faith in this team. It's not fun to watch.
Mo
it's not like Mo and his Vikings. They're fun to watch.
Mo, your lucky ass Vikings. How did they squeak out that win last week? I'll tell you what, Zadarius Smith makes plays only when people don't block him.
Well,
for some reason, they keep not blocking him, and then he'll make a play because nobody blocked him.
Yeah, and then everybody thinks he's good for some reason because he made
he's
one
not
play.
Good, but and nobody blocks him. Sometimes he can make a play. And you know it's true, Mo. It's only on the play. He loafed it. I watched a bunch of that game. He was doing nothing. A bunch of that game. And then somebody decided not to block him, and yeah, he made a tackle, and then he thought he was the king, and whatever. What else do you say? Yeah, another nail biter, Mo.
That somehow you slackers won.
I know, lucky.
You know why?
Stink bombs.
Makes the throws. Your quarterback reads the defense, runs the offense, and makes the throw. Sometimes he throws a pick, but he makes the throw. Our quarterback just, I don't know what he does. He doesn't want to throw. Unless it's for sure not going to be an intercepted play.
Yep. We got to get some more big dog in there, and that'll solve.
That's right. Big dog and Alan Lazard. That's what Aaron Rodgers said. More big dog, more Alan Lazard. Our two big playmakers. Because, big dog is going to run a 40-yard touchdown after he catches it because he's so fast.
Cousins with 3 game-winning drives already this season. Does he have more game-winning drives in his career than Aaron Rodgers now?
Oh, he does for sure.
Yeah, probably.
He does for sure.
Plus, his head-to-head record is better. That he's on the winning side of that against Aaron Rodgers too.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's 6-4 against Rodgers now. Kirk Cousins.
Wow.
Number 99 on the players list this last year.
Uh-oh.
What's mom got to say? Coaches and some of the players need a swift kick in their butts, says mom. Mom.
Whoa.
Nice.
I think they need like a kick in the head or like a rearrange their brains or something, or hire me. I will do it.
Most of those Packers need to be a run and play action team. Yeah, they do. But last week, Mo, they ran 19 times and passed 39 times. So,
but the excuse though, Mo, is they run the run solution plays.
Solution.
So the defense dictates whether we run or not. Aaron Rodgers. The defense. It's a defense. Aaron Rodgers reads the defense and then decides whether they should run or pass. And usually he likes to pass. And his passes are all 0 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So, they're really successful. But who am I to watch and be excited about that? Nobody. Not me, not you, not anyone. This is the most boring offense I've ever seen in my life. And we have a $50 million quarterback. And that's what they do? 11 0-yard or less passes? I don't know how you can get less than 0, but that's what they do.
I had more fun watching Lucas play last week, even though he had some bad plays, but he played hard and he was running around and he was doing his best. And he was like blocking to the whistle and pinning some guys down. He blocks Adarius pretty good one-on-one a bunch of times. I had more fun watching that than I did watching some of the Packers offense last week. So, and that's sad. Because it is kind of boring. It's like, dude, 11 passes behind the line of scrimmage or 1 yard or whatever they were. Ridiculous.
Oh, my God, Mo.
0. What do you say? Jets are playing with fire inside them. Tough game for us. Yeah. Hey, teams that play physical and hard for years now have given the Packers problems. A couple of years ago, Jacksonville, Carolina, those teams were down. When we played them, they struggled. They barely squeaked out those wins because those teams are physical, fast, played hard. If you've got a fast, physical team that plays hard against this Packers offense, it's not going to go well. They might win, but it'll be struggle. What? Wasting Rodgers? Oh, come on, Mo.
Mo, you got to be here for the whole show.
No.
Because you obviously missed the entire show because it's not that.
Viking Mo. You got to watch the tape a little closer.
Here's the thing. The only saving grace is the Jets are not very big. They've got small, fast guys, except for they have a pretty good one defensive lineman is pretty good, and they got a pass rusher who's doing some of that stuff is pretty good. So,
man, 0.
And 0, you hate Rodgers more than I do, I think. Good for you, bud. But
don't you wish that
the chance
Aaron Rodgers
that we could win? I wish he would have got traded to the Denver. I wish he would have just retired. I wish he would just go away. Mo, I would take a crappy quarterback over this guy.
I think it's because then you'd run the ball.
He's
then
the
you'd say,
Joe Barry of quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers is the Joe Barry of quarterbacks. 11 passes behind the line of scrimmage. Are you kidding me? That's a what is that? I can't think of anybody who's that.
Who's playing better quarterback this year, Kirk Cousins or Aaron Rodgers right now?
Kirk Cousins is killing it compared to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers is the third. Aaron Rodgers
is currently playing like the 3rd best quarterback in his division at the moment, and that's only because Justin Fields is so terrible.
Yeah, he's really bad.
But that's where Aaron Rodgers, the guy we paid all that money to keep on the team and not go away and not go into retirement, and had to cater to him and all these things and blah 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 blah, and change the offense for him and whatever. Is currently playing out of 4 teams in the division, is currently playing like the 3rd best quarterback in the NFC North. Just a heads up.
And just a heads up, the NFC North has got the worst quarterbacks in the entire NFL.
He does like to yell at his own guys, Lee. You're right. That's the only time he shows any fire.
I would take Baker Mayfield over Aaron Rodgers. Baker Mayfield sucks. Right, Mo? Can we trade Aaron Rodgers to the Eagles for their backup, Gardner Minshew? I'll take that.
Yeah.
He'd be more fun to watch. And he'd be entertaining as when, on the press conferences too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take that. I don't know. I think the Packers are going to lose. I'm done. I'm not picking them to win again until they show me that they're going to change the way they play.
Until they show they're going to use the running backs.
They're going to lose. They're going to lose to the Jets. Then they're going to lose to the crappy Commanders, a team that can't win a damn game. They got one lucky win.
Sometimes people like to say it, right? I like to say all these complicated things. All these people make a bunch of money. Yep, Ben finally admits that Baker's not good. That's fine.
He's fine. He's on a bad team. His coach got fired already. What does that tell you? Situation
is this. The Packers don't use Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon against the Vikings, they lose. Then they come out, then they're like, oh, why we need to run the ball more. They come out the next week, they use feature, not just use, feature Aaron Jones, use AJ Dillon a lot, and they win. Then they use it in the next game, and they win. And
no, they won the Tampa game because Jair got hurt.
Right.
And Rasul Douglas played man defense all by himself. There were times there was zone on the other side, and Rasul played man, and that's why they won that game.
Right. But offensively, they have shown their best opportunities for success are when they use those guys. When they decide to go completely away from them, it doesn't work out well. No matter how great Rodgers still thinks he is, and some people think he is. So will they come back this week and feature 33 and 28? If they do, they probably win. If they don't, they'll probably lose. That's it.
Yeah, but how are they going to feature him? Are they going to feature him in the run solution plays where everybody knows that it's either a quick pass or a running back play and the defensive line is just going to suffocate the run? Because that doesn't going to work.
They got to run the ball more. They got to actually call running plays, and when the running plays are called, hand it off and give that a chance to work. Because I don't know. I mean, come on. What is Aaron Jones like 6.7 yards per rush on the season?
Yeah.
Yet he has the 19th most carries in the league right now.
It's really stupid.
And he hasn't missed games because he's been injured like some of the other running backs. A lot of them have missed games, right? Because they get hurt. So he's been available every single game, and he's has the 19th most carries in the NFL for a guy that's averaging almost 7 yards a carry. That's dumb. So I don't know.
Balaz is back on a live show. Holy crap.
Balaz, we were just signing off. We've been on forever. How are you doing, though? Let's see. And Viking Mo says Aaron Jones, move to wide receiver. No, you just give him the ball in space and let him do his thing, baby.
Sometimes he doesn't do so great as wide receiver. I've seen him get turned around and flipped around and fumble a bunch of times.
Right. Well, he's better when you just
give
it to him. Just give him the ball and let him work.
To him.
Yes. He's great at finding little
screenplays. Yeah, because even when guys don't block for him, he still gets yards for some reason. I don't know why, but he still does because he's so good.
Because he's Aaron Jones.
Yes. And AJ Dillon needs to stop his cutback runs every freaking play. Just run the goddamn ball straight and fast and get 6 yards every time, you dingus. Whoa, Greg Taylor.
Greg says what? It's 12's ego problem. He believes he's the best Aaron on the team. Ooh.
You're correct, Greg Taylor.
Yep, that's true.
He believes he's the best Aaron on the team. He believes he's the best player on the team. He believes he's the best coach on the team. He believes he's the best owner on the team. Because he just said he owns he's got Packer stock. And then somebody asked him if he bought that stock himself, and he said, "No, I was given to me. But technically, I guess I am an owner."
He also believes he's the best leader on the team, which is also not true.
No, Aaron Jones is the leader. He needs to become the leader on offense right now.
Also, side note, Bakhtiari is struggling kind of quite a bit. He didn't look so hot this last game either. And it was kind of weird, right? Because we thought he was going to see increased snaps, and he started out the game, and then all of a sudden he's on the bench, and Yash is coming in. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I thought he was kind of working his way back to full-time Bakhtiari, but then they're still doing this like, whatever snap count thing, and I don't get what's going on with the guy, but like, dude is getting paid a lot. Get his ass on the field, let him play.
Listen, I think our team is better when the guys who make all the money aren't playing.
What?
I think Jair is not doing it for me. The team had a better game when Rasul Douglas was playing corner and Nixon was playing slot nickel corner. And Amos was hurt and Rudy Ford was playing. Though I'd rather see Amos than Savage. I'd rather see Savage benched, Rudy Ford playing. And if you bring Jair back, fine. Then get Stokes' butt out of there and have Rasul playing corner. And then Nixon playing freaking slot.
All right, we got some comments here. Mom's sick of it. Mom's sick of it. She doesn't want to watch this crap. She's done with the lean years. She likes the winning. Eric's still kind of in the mystical land of the, not as dialed in because he's a fan of a different team and just casual observer.
Oh, you can have him.
Rodgers is made Packers contender. Yes, you should have this Packer quarterback late in his career too. I hope he goes and plays for the Vikings. It'd be great.
Yeah, I hope he does. I hope they trade him or he can whatever. Or
things will be worse when he's gone. No, things will be different. They play offense differently, and when you have two backs like this, that's not a bad thing. Use those backs and ride them to victory.
Mo, we scored 0 points in the second half, buddy. 0 points with a $50 million quarterback against a team that isn't even that great.
Matt LaFleur and 12 get out coached Sunday by his buddies. Ooh, Lee thinks they're gonna Jets win 24-20.
Yeah.
All right, Lee, take care of yourself, man.
Too.
Ben believes it too. Fast physical teams that play hard, especially on defense, can cause the Packers problems. And Blaz here says everyone thinks no way Packers will use Love while he is on the team. To me, that makes no sense. Either you can follow the plan and play design or not. If not, please move aside. Yeah. We saw Jordan Love in the preseason, Blaz, and I know you didn't start watching football until here just the season started. But Jordan Love did he's improved. And when he ran the offensive plays, like he showed he could run the actual offensive plays to an acceptable level for a starting quarterback. Like he's not great. He made some good throws though when he was on time and running the offense. To me, it seemed like when he was making the checks and some of the other things that Rodgers likes to do and they like to incorporate now, that's when he was not as good. But when he actually just ran the plays and managed the game in preseason, he looked all right. What do you think, bro?
All I know is Aaron Rodgers' thumb hurts.
I know.
So is he gonna pull a Brett Favre and play with a broken thumb and suck really bad and throw a bunch of picks and stink?
He won't throw the picks. But...
Right, he won't throw the picks. He'll just score no points. The Packers will score 0 points because he can't throw the ball or whatever. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, we got to get to this one here. Zero says it would have been a Cooper Rush similar scenario if Jordan Love got a start. Ooh.
I think you're right because you know what? The Packers would rely more on the running game.
Mm-hmm.
The defense would have to pick it up and have to take more chances and try to get some turnovers instead of just playing back like ding-dongs. It's weird. Chris Sims said this too because people were saying like, oh, Cooper Rush is better than Dak Prescott. And he's like, oh, really? He had 200. He had 100 yards passing or something. But the Cowboys are 4-0 under him. Why? Because they just run a simple scheme. They run plays that work. They don't ask their quarterback to do too much dumb stuff and make too many dumb decisions. Just throw the ball to the open guy. And then like he throws to the open guy. And it's not. But I showed you in the videos.
Are you ready
Rodgers
for
doesn't
this?
do that.
Ready for this comment from Dad? Rodgers should not be a captain because he's not a leader. Wow, that's big for Dad.
He's never been a leader. Every time the Packers have needed a leader when Aaron Rodgers is on the team, it's been a guy from defense.
Yep.
Period.
Still is. We saw it at training camp. Rasul and Rashawn Gary, who are not captains on the team for whatever reason, are the two biggest leaders on this team. Oh, Mo says this is nuts. Yes, bench Rodgers, please. For
how about this, Mo? How about if we trade Rodgers to you? You can have him for nothing. We'll just give him to you.
Well, I take Kirk Cousins,
and you start him in week 17 too. I want you to start in week 17.
People know he won't throw it. Mo, go back and watch the plays Ben just showed here. We'll show you some things. A-Rod threatening retirement to motivate the wide receivers is such a D-bag move. I can bet there is a ton of resentment. Really? When did he? I missed that part. Is that what he said?
It was a week ago or something. They asked him what he thought about and he said he didn't. They asked him what his thoughts were of, the question was this, actually. It was after the game where Watson had a touchdown and Dobbs had a couple good plays.
Okay.
And they were like, hey, with the development of these young guys, would this be kind of a reason that you might stick around or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And Rodgers' answer was something to the point of like, yeah, those two guys, these young receivers may have made or I don't know, help me make a decision or have an impact on my decision. He didn't say, yeah, their progression would help me be staying. He said that them staying or them being on the team would help be an important part of me staying or not, or whatever the crap it was. But then this week he says we need Lazard and Big Dog. So he obviously doesn't know anything.
GMO says Rodgers for Kirk. Done.
No, I don't want Cousins.
I'd take him. If you take a pay cut. You take a pay cut.
How about this? We'll give you Rodgers. We want I don't want anybody from the Vikings. They all suck. Forget it. You can just have them. We'll take your first round pick. Your second round pick.
You want Blas, we're at the hypothetical point of the show. I'm sorry, but is any sensible way out of the contract? No. I mean, he's gonna
not anymore.
We said this before. Here's what's gonna happen. Aaron Rodgers is gonna decide whether he wants to just take a bunch of the Packers' money after this season and retire, or if he's gonna play one more season and then take even a little bit more money and then retire. But that's how it's gonna go. It's all up to him. This contract he set up, he's in total control when it ends.
Yeah.
Team surrendered everything to him. Everything.
And he dictated it from 2 years ago.
Yep.
Everybody.
Yep.
He went to LaFleur and he said, I want to change the offense. I want to get rid of all this crap. Let's do the stuff I like to do. Even though the Packers were the better offense in 2019 with Aaron Jones as the focal point. And also Rodgers making plays. But he couldn't handle the fact that Aaron Jones had 21 touchdowns and was like a Pro Bowler and number 33 on the players' top 100.
Well, it's not that. It's just that he doesn't want to be considered a game manager.
I know. I've showed the plays. I showed that video.
Which, if that's what he did, this team would be extremely successful.
Yeah. But he changed the plays.
Because he still has the ability to make the magical play when you need it, but then make all the other normal plays on schedule. Great. And then pull out one of those Rodgers plays a couple times a game. We could beat everybody.
He made it so that he's the focal point of the offense the last two seasons. Yep. He won his 2 MVPs because he didn't throw any picks, and people are stupid. And therefore, they were like, oh, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is good. He didn't throw any picks. He's MVP. He has 40 touchdowns, and Aaron Jones got like 6 or 7, even though he was able to get 21 the year before in 2019. Years before, right? Apparently, that same guy is still on the team, but because Rodgers got a pass, and then we saw all these drive stall, and everybody's like, why are all these drive stall? Well, how come we always have these drive stall? Well, the drives didn't stall in 2019, but they did in 2020, 2021. But he set it up, so he was the focal point, so that he gets the MVPs, and then he takes over the team, and then he's the whole freaking reason why they are winning. He's the MVP. There's no way the Packers could move on from the MVP. The freaking fans would revolt and have a heart attack. So he took over. And then he got his contract saying that he might want to be traded. I don't want to be part of a rebuild. Blah, 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 crap. They gave him his money. It was all about money. Money and control of his future. And he got his money. He got his guaranteed $150 million for 3 seasons, whether he plays or not. And now he's got total control. He has control. Before he had control of the offense on the field. Now he's got to control the team by a vice grip. He controls the offense on the field. He controls the offense or the team off the field. It's him. It's all him, Balaz. There's zero chance. The only chance of us getting out of this mess of this quarterback it was last year before they gave him that big contract.
Yep.
After that big contract gets done.
But do you think that
if he retires, what?
I think he looked at what was going on in Denver and maybe foresaw some of this stuff and was like, you know what? It's safer for me, not better, but safer for me to stay in Green Bay. And
Think about this. Think about this. For 12 seasons of him starting, when something goes wrong, who gets the blame?
Mike McCarthy.
Who else?
Dom Capers.
Who else? Oh, he's doing it by himself out there. He's got no talent around him. right?
No
No
talent.
talent, no defense. The special team sucks. When he goes out and scores 0 points on 9 consecutive drives in a playoff game, and the special teams does suck. Don't get me wrong. He keeps getting bailed out. The year before, when it was 4th down and 8 or whatever, and they didn't go for it. When they didn't get it on 1st, 2nd, or 3rd down, they were going to get it on 4th down and 8.
I wish they would have just. I wish they would have just let him have it.
But did he take the blame for that?
No.
LaFleur took the blame.
Not only did LaFleur take the blame, Rodgers played up the blame towards him
on
afterwards
Jeopardy.
with all this
on Jeopardy
crap.
And he still does to this day.
I know.
And that's the key. So instead of being traded, look at Russell Wilson. He is vilified in Denver right now.
They're booing his ass
all
all
over
the
him.
time.
He doesn't have a built-in fan base in Denver. All they see is, what is this slop? What the heck's going on out there, right? Rodgers knows he is a smart guy. He's like, I'm not going to Denver. No way. I could stay here, make $50 million a year, never take any blame, and just pass the buck to everybody else. I've been doing it for 12 years as a starter since that Super Bowl. After I won that Super Bowl, I've been just living the life. Why would I leave here? This is golden. Okay, it's cold every now and again. I make $50 million, but I don't have to come back and work with the team the whole offseason. They don't make me. All I know is if I had a job and I made that much money, I think that they would make me come into work for a little bit. This guy gets a 6-month vacation.
All right.
Part of making $50 million a year is to be on the team and helping them out.
We got a couple more comments here to throw in there. Viking Mo is still hung up. He's trying to say the problem is Lazard and that. Viking Mo, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. All right. Balaz said Rodgers, he was such a fan and such a foul taste now. I get it. He's really soured it for a lot of people, man.
Maybe I did it, Jason.
Rodgers did it.
3 years.
Rodgers did it.
Turned on him last year.
Rodgers showed you who he was, his comments, his actions, and on top of it, the way he's spewed the blame around and never takes responsibility.
But there's still so many Packer fans who just give him the benefit of the doubt and say it's not him.
I know.
And I was one of them.
I know.
For years, I was one of them.
I was too.
And it wasn't until I got the All-22 when I watched the film and I was like, oh my God, he's not throwing the ball. He's not making the plays. He's not running the offense.
The worst part is, and we've said it before, is he has all the ability and talent and experience to help this team win if he would just adapt the way he plays, but he doesn't want to. He wants to play it his way.
His words were, I will not change the way I play.
Yep.
I'm not changing.
He's not changing. People have to adapt to him. Let's see. Blas says, all that being said, what is how can we win against the Jets? Run the ball.
Can't.
Aaron Jones and
defense.
Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, and aggressive press man defense. Bring some pressure against the young quarterback, and that's how they can win.
Yeah,
if they play soft,
he's known for throwing picks.
If they play soft defense, and that's true, the defense could get some turnovers, maybe some turnover scores in this game. That's how they could win. Zero says, I'm calling it now. Giants versus Jets. We'll see. I don't know about that.
We're all getting. I'm starting to get a little crazy with the stuff I'm saying too. But
Jets will not beat the Bills, but Giants beat the Packers. Well, yeah. Okay. Hey, we showed a video of, and it's out there. Like I showed a little bit of the Giants coach breaking down some plays against Packers. It was actually pretty cool. He said some good stuff and showed like what they were trying to do and how it worked, and how they made the Packers adjust to them rather than adjusting to what they saw the other team lineup like we like to do. Greg says he's missing wide open young wide receivers because he likes the old slow wide receivers. Yeah, he likes to throw to his guys. That's another problem. And then he says he likes AR despite what you say, but now it's all his actions. No work, no training, no team, just me. Well, unfortunately, he's kind of always been me, but he disguised it a little better before.
Yeah, since he had his ayahuasca, he just doesn't care anymore. He's like, I'm just going to be me. Yeah. And he still takes no blame.
Yep, it's kind of crazy.
Awesome. That's great. I'm so happy for you.
And people can vilify. They vilify the GM. They vilify, everybody else. And that's the way it is. But all I know is with Pat O'Donnell as our punter, we can't blame the special teams anymore. And actually, the punt coverage and kick coverage has been better, more consistent. Now, we still need to figure out the returning. And people were talking about last week. One, A. Rodgers should just be cut. And I don't know. 3rd round pick a year ago, but the guy can't get on the field as a receiver. They don't use him anyway. They try making him just as a returner to show he has some value. He's struggling with that. Like, I don't know.
The weird thing is he had a good preseason when Jordan Love was throwing on the ball. I can tell you that.
True.
He was making catches and moving the chains for Jordan Love. Maybe we got the wrong quarterback out there.
And he makes catches over the middle. A couple of things. Here, is everybody so hard on Amari Rodgers? Let me just say this about him. He's shifty. He is pretty strong. One of the better guys at breaking tackles. He has no acceleration.
Right. That's his big issue.
And he has no speed. So those are challenges as a wideout, right? For sure.
James Jones was that same way.
Right. But so you would have to use him in a certain way, but he has pretty good hands catching the ball, and he's pretty tough. So like a guy over the middle that is sitting down in zones, he's not going to beat man coverage. I can tell you that. But if he gets to work over the middle, kind of sitting down in zones and maybe catching the ball, and he can see and navigate, open field. Okay. It's just that he's never going to break anything for a big play. He does not have the speed. He doesn't have the acceleration, and he's not terribly tall. So those are detriments. The positives are he's pretty shifty. He's pretty strong. He's pretty good at breaking tackles. And we saw earlier this year that he would go up and make plays. He would dive for balls. He was catching stuff when it was Jordan Love at the trigger. So I don't know. I wouldn't totally write him off, but the way they're like not even get him on the field right now, I'd probably just not even have him active. What's the point?
I don't know. Hey, give me Eric's quote here.
What's this one? Winning fixes everything.
Okay, Mo. Winning doesn't fix everything.
Masks everything. Winning
masks everything. And that's the difference. Because they lost against the Giants. This same stuff talking about against Tampa, against the Patriots the week before.
You said it was just they lost, right? Because Rodgers had the bad first half and then the good second half against the Patriots. Everyone was like, "Oh no, he was great." And then this week it was better in the first half and bad in the second half, and that's why now everybody's thinking about it.
Right, and they lost.
Yeah,
but it's been the same crap since the beginning of the season. I mean, look at the Vikings. I mean, Mo, you know about this. The Vikings game was terrible on so many levels, and it's just been masked this whole time. Because they got wins after that. Because they played the Bears, who were terrible. They played the Tampa, where Jair got hurt, so then Rasul took out that dude, and then there you go. They only gave up 14 points, and even though Rodgers gave him a gift pick, and Patriots, they had their 3rd string quarterback for God's sake, and then we finally lost to the Giants because of dumb communication issues. Because the Giants aren't stupid; they attacked the crossing routes and made our guys do dumb crap on defense. Otherwise, we probably would have won that game too. But also scored 0 points in the whole second half. So that's all.
The defense is good enough to beat the Jets. I'm going to have faith that the defense helps them win this game. I'm going to call it.
I've had faith.
17-13, Packers win.
I've been saying that they're going to do it. They're going to change their ways. They're going to finally figure it out. I said that last week. I said, the Giants stink. They're going to cream them. I said they're going to cream them. I said 34-10, remember?
Yep, you did. You believed.
Well, I'm done believing. Until they show me. Until they show me on the field that they are going to do the right thing. They're losing. All right. Show me. Show me and I'll pick you. But I'm done picking the Packers. It's the Jets.
Usually when we call guys out, they do better. So hopefully that's the case. All right. Ben says Jets. I say Packers 17-13. Squeak it out. We only stayed on this long because you guys start getting active in the chat. Appreciate you being on here and appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. I got to work at 5 in. And
Zero says Jets 20, Packers 10-0. Say it ain't so, boy.
Maybe. Depends on Aaron Jones if he's the man.
I'm going to say Rasul gets a pick 6 in this game. Helps him win.
I don't know.
He's about due for a pick 6, I think.
He's due for something.
They got to have him on the field more snaps, though. That's the problem. So let's hope he's on the field more snaps. Dang, everybody's picking against the Pack. Dad picking 30-10 Jets.
Oh,
30-20 Jets. I'm sorry, 30-20 Jets win.
Wow.
Man, everybody's down after
Wow,
that loss
man.
in London. Come on, guys. There's so many excuses for that one in London. Like they had to make the trip over there, first time playing in another country, new time zone, all the other stuff with the week. Come on, I got more excuses for you. What else I got? The Saquon Barkley's really good. They had injury problems. Wow, Viking Mole, he comes through. Packers 24, Jets 17.
Hey, Balaz, put Balaz's comments on here. You know what,
What does
Balaz?
he
You're
say?
positive. He's a positive guy.
Say it all the time. AR is not stupid. He feels the rope tightening around his neck. Other channels start to call him out. He'll be better and more interested. Oh, okay. 34
I think that's
17.
very interesting, Balaz, because you're right. Chris Sims, a couple other guys have been calling him out. They've been saying, "What is he doing?" Like he's playing like he's scared. He's not playing within the system. And it's been more than me. I've been saying it for 3 years, but now finally some other people have been caught up. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting, Balaz. It may change him, but he's also at a point right now where he's won 4 MVPs and his head is so far up his butt, smelling the roses of his own butt, that he doesn't care what other people say. So I don't know if this will change him. Like it might have to be like a whole Russell Wilson thing. Like this whole Russell Wilson thing is fascinating to me, where like everybody's just going after him, right?
Yeah, even his number one fan, Colin Cowherd, said stuff about him.
So, I mean, will it start to affect him if he listens to, he says he doesn't listen to the outside, yet we know he does because but that's an interesting point, Balaz. We'll see if he could start listening, maybe changing the way he plays. I was hoping that Tom Clemens was going to be the difference, but it's obvious after 5 games, he is not.
Yep.
And so maybe you're right. Maybe after people start calling him out in the media, because his coaches won't, LaFleur always takes the hit. It's interesting, but we'll see. We'll see, Balaz. It's not a bad point. It's just I'll believe it. I'll believe it when I see it.
That one, I hope so, but I have less faith in that one because he's said it publicly. I mean, just look at the stuff he said this offseason. He said it publicly. He expects everyone to adapt to the way he wants to play. And we've talked about this on the show in past weeks and through training camp when the young receivers were there and struggling at times. Is he expects everybody to adapt to the way he wants to play offense, not the offense. Just the way he wants to play offense. They all have to adapt to him. And he's already said he's not going to change the way he plays. Now, if he just hands the damn ball off more, it would be a step in the right direction. But, last week, 39 passes, 19 runs. So I don't know. That's not a good ratio whatsoever. Packers should be pretty damn close to 50-50 if they want to be as successful as they want to be. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, Greg says it's not London. Let's date back to last year's playoffs. We go halves without scoring points. Yep. And we talk about that. Reason is play decisions. I don't know if it's always play calls, but play decisions, Greg.
Well, I showed you on the drive.
Yep.
It's the quarterback's decision not to throw the ball and then not to throw it in rhythm, to take a double hitch and then on third down, just chuck up some dumb pass. So.
And partly also potentially we don't know who makes the line calls, but there have been a lot of issues with protection and guys blocking, who's blocking who and which way is the center shading and who's he helping, and those things are noticeable. And I've said it was going to be a problem, but everybody laughed me off and said we got this second round pick. He's going to be great. You can get rid of your guy. He doesn't matter. He's expendable. Okay, well, I don't know. Sorry, I'm right, but I'm right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's check downs. Yeah, Blas, the point Ben made. You say it again, Ben. Tell him how many passes last week.
Yeah, but those weren't checkdowns.
No, I know, but they're kind of like checkdowns because they're so short.
Well,
you explain quick.
The problem is the receivers can't get open downfield, so which leads to checkdowns. But he holds the ball too long. Like he needs to make a decision either. Late checkdowns, right? Get him to the guy when he can actually get open. and do something with it. And then the other issue is the run pass option things where, you're throwing them to Tunyon and Lazard and, like throw the run pass options to DeGuara and, Watson and Dobbs and Aaron Jones. Those are the guys who should be getting these quick passes, and then let them make moves and then go forward because they'll get some yards.
Absolutely.
But guys like Lazard and Tunyon and Big Dog, really a screen pass to Big Dog. It didn't happen this game, but it happened in previous games. It's not going to do anything.
Those three guys all take so long to get going. Like they're not quick starters. So if you get them from a dead stop, they're already at a disadvantage when the defense is attacking at full speed. Those guys are too damn slow and they just don't get going. But like you said, like DeGuara, oh my God, he's pretty quick. Like he's not fast. He's not going to burn you, but he's pretty quick at getting to full speed. He's shifty. He can break tackles. Like, oh my, just give that guy a chance to catch some passes and run with the ball. Like, why the hell not? It seems like every time they give him a chance, he does something positive.
I know. I have those two plays, but we're not going to watch them.
Use the guy. Use him.
When you watch his plays back to back after watching the Tunyon plays, it's night and day. The difference between the ability to catch and go upfield immediately. Mm-hmm. Like he's already like you just watch him back to back, and it's like DeGuara would be 4 yards downfield as Tunyon is first making a turnaround to get moving, which doesn't make much sense. But Tunyon's also 6'5", 240 pounds, where DeGuara is 6'1", 6'2", 235, 240 pounds. So his center of gravity is lower, and he's more agility. And I don't know. I'd like to see him get more plays.
Well, you can laugh about DeGuara all you want, but
yeah, watch the game. He looks good.
He took
a 60-yard freaking screen pass to the house last year against the Lions. Now it's the Lions. Don't get me wrong. They beat the Vikings, or they got, but we all know he got lucky. But still,
and he had Lucas Patrick's second best block of the season on the play. But
that's true. That's true. Lucas Patrick.
His best block was the 21 where he blocked Anthony Barr like 20 yards downfield Mo the whole time. I'm sure you remember that one, and then pancaked him at the end. Hopefully you remember that one, Viking Mo. But you don't have to worry about Lucas anymore, so good for you. All right. Lucky ass Vikings are 4-1, top of the division. Packers are 3-2. They got to beat the Jets. Otherwise, it could be a little troublesome, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, Ben wants them to prove it first. Hopefully they do prove it. Thanks to all you guys for being here, being around, being Packers fans. And Viking Mo, your Vikings can suck it.